Previously on the Dota 2 Arlington Major.
MSS likely to be the trade, but a big curse onto 3. Warlock, is this enough to actually take out Fata? Indeed it is. Coil onto 3 heroes! Oh my goodness, EG get initiated on. So much damage coming from Monet, and already 2 deleted from EG's perspective. He's taking a lot of damage. A huge backfall on the entirety of EG.
Mika has to swashbuckle again, just defensive usage out of all these spells and still dies. Next success with a black hole. He only gets one of them. Toss back. Chalice ceases to exist.
Tundra, they're ready to run it again. Sock with a big old hit. The double kill on Nide.
Boom fought to the end last time. Tundra trying the same.
Yeah, Jackie finds him stunned, done, 3 seconds out of there. So much damage there. They haven't popped BKB. And Tomato, he's just going to die.
Oh no, he dodged it.
Mischief gets away.
Don't, come on.
The follow-up could be pretty devastating, although they don't have Doom with him.
Yeah, he's still running.
Oh my god, and Kenji PK lining them all up, hitting the side blades.
It's the T4 towers, lads. You have to pay some respect. The Fatal Punch onto multiple heroes, though. Look at Fnatic. They don't give a damn. Oh, my lord. What a combo.
Even with him doing the one on down Toronto, Tokyo, he's got the ultra kill. Give him a rampage. Can he get a double? Oh, yeah, he can. Oh, collapse. BKB. Oh, he got the Aegis and he got the kill. I cannot believe.
Curse out, Solo, he scored 3 of them, all the mana drain from K1 into the mana void as well. Another toss back again, Sweden strong right into the coil, but the Echo Slam.
You'll stop into the air, doesn't like can come out, not fast enough. Resident Pulse doesn't save him on the high ground, Supernova healing Yatoro.
Oh my god, Quinn! They catch him, but interrupted, turned upon, they find him again, Fata in the back lines every single time. Winner's curse, but no, is it good enough? I'm not sure if they have enough to kill him. The stun afterwards. Good silence from KP. Anna's gonna come out, jumps in, wants to get it, but the rage is there. It's Kaka getting the jump away. Golem is gonna get dropped immediately after the black hole. Jab's trying to survive through it. The spell like steel. He's healing up through it.
Someone kill him.
Can you escape? He has the Omni Slash now. Jumps in, jumps out, can't find his way out of there. The continued matches. The poor Juggernaut.
It's popping the BKB's going to mitigate all that damage. Who gets the Roach? And it's snatched by Nightfall. So Roach technically goes to Beast Coast as the torrent connects onto 2.
Oh, that's a juicy one, though.
That is a dieback for Gojira if he goes down. There's the Mouse Strike. Oh my god, it was a 2-shot.
A big static storm, the refind, no one has been to. He does go down. Now the black hole out. The Boca, he'll catch 2 of them. And Asta somehow taking the team fight. They'd love a rampage if they can find it. Sweden strong. He's been caught out. The glimpse back and look at this, John. Look at the teamwork. Slowly taking the T3 tower as they do some very nice bounce back on the safe. In goes the jump in, but Khan, what a massive balance strikeout from the Monkey King into the Wukong's command.
Interrupt the Ravage, the Force Staff, the Cookie, everything for Ame, and now look at them, they're all lined up together. Ame down on the low ground, the Cookies come through. It's terrible for Liquid. Pull back 1. Is it going to be good enough though? Not quite. Echo out. Xingqiu finds his moment.
3-man coil from Bryle. They've caught the Zeus out, and this Rolling Thunder is going to try and turn it back. But the golden drop, though, Dubu sets up the fight for Fnatic beautifully.
Beautiful electric vortex onto 3, but the Chrono finds 2, but the Hurricane actually brings Storm Spirit out, and you punch Liz! Are you serious? Unbelievable with the stolen Chrono now. Okay, Dawnbreaker coming is there. Tree Volley is canceled next to Electric Vortex, and a huge Starbreaker from Jackie, and Boom are actually destroying this fight. And there's the last black hole of the game in all likelihood. Collapse, finding everything. A rampage for Yatoro.
Skim also caught on the Viper. Whoa. Ravage is their FBZ. He's caught everyone. Yopash jumps in. Another Ravage out.
Look at Whisper jumping in the middle. The Coil's going to hold back some of the numbers of Asa. K1's going to move forward as well. It's an incredible use of the rock and the Gyrocopter finally be able to pump out the damage.
Look over, though, at Ramses, who's now on the run. He doesn't have an aim as the damage is coming in, and from Makaz, they'll take him out. Wow, the damage out onto the Razor. Now looking at DM, but here comes PK. They drop down the stack throw, and they look over. Yamish trying to throw him in, but they've got the Lotus. That's going to bounce Yamish into the air. They've got themselves the Roche down. Age is still on the ground. Somebody's got to pick it up, and they've got the ultimate with the dogs. It's coming in up Makaz. Makaz snatches the Aegis, and now he's going to go for the rest.
Hello. Crave right on himself at the start. That's pretty cool. We'll get off the Poison Touch afterwards. Hex is there. Do they have enough to bring down one of Mars? Stunned by the black hole. A turnaround. Oh, he saves his buddy. Keeping him back. Tiger ready to go. Jumps in. He black holes them all. How do you find that? The refresher afterwards. Come on back for round 2 as Papa Tiger caught them all. Matthew chased back. They still have a buyback on him. But Sam, oh, he did it to him.
The Omni Slash bounces in towards the enraged Ursa, doing very little damage as Jin Q. The Blink Echo, perfectly placed, and Ramsey's stuck there.
Fisher.
The Dream Coil down. Toby's not dead. He'll get the Primal Split off. Chrono comes down onto 3 of these heroes. They're going to start out putting a lot of damage. Fly goes down first. Crit drops as well.
It's over for the moment. The Spike Trapper's going to hold
What a
them down.
carapace.
Oh, Kaka! What have you done to them?
AP's surviving. Is there a chance that the turn will happen? And as a matter of fact, it actually does. Yuragi there, but Sev walks in and gets the big echo. KP slowed down. BKB, another echo from Sev. Tier 3 tower's going to go down. A great stun out from Taiga. Sev there. GG is called.
Welcome to the PGL Arlington Major. We are in day number 1 of playoffs. We had our group stages finishing yesterday, and we had a nice little highlight reel outlining just all the action that you guys can go back and catch if you want. Sitting beside me, I know they're very excited, is Sheep, Jenkins, and Lizard. Guys, looking at that highlight reel, best game of group stages if you could only watch one for the rest of your life.
For the rest of my life?
Yeah, rest of your life.
Order.
Huh? I have to actually give an answer?
You have to go first, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can start.
Any game where Boom won, I'm pretty happy with.
I was going to go with Boom Master as well,
Okay.
but as Sheep already took that away, I'll go with
Keeping you on your toes.
Yeah, I'll go with the EG comeback versus Team Spirit. It was quite fun.
Mm-hmm. And in the systematic order we had Jenkins. Yeah, you get to go last.
That was not the right order. That was not the right order. I'll say LGD RNG Game 2. That was reverse Gaben's top hat level shellacking, which in the history of Dota has never happened before.
Never happened before.
And of course, it was prophesized that it would be LGD that would do such a monumental event. But even still, it's one of those things. It seems impossible, even though you know that it's out there. It's kind of like dark matter in the universe. Everybody knows that it's there, and yet it still seems like this impossibility.
I mean, they're all really good choices. I'm glad you guys actually had some games. I was worried I was going to ask, and you guys would be like, "Yep, that game that we saw in that highlight reel. Yeah,
that was a good one.
Yeah, the one with the chrono and the dream coil.
Like the rampage.
Yeah. All right, I have a special mention. How about Sonic's beating LGD, the one team to actually take a game off of LGD?
I do want to talk about that, but I want to talk about it when we get into the matchups, when we talk a little bit more about LGD. Instead, I want to talk about contested heroes, the highly contested heroes so far for this major, the ones that we've seen quite consistently throughout this group stage. There's 9 there. You guys can talk about 3 each. No, you get time for 1 each.
3 each, that's a lot.
You get 1 each.
Okay, I'm happy to see Dazzle really coming back into the game. He's been gone for so long. I think everyone was just like, yeah, he's like a terrible healing hero. He doesn't do anything. Now he just kind of busted and get picked up off the wazoo.
Can I go with Dazzle as well?
Yeah!
We definitely
Dazzle
I didn't say it had
panel.
to be different.
Dazzle!
I got a different one.
You dazzle me, Lizard.
I'll go with Tiny. I like the fact that this hero has kind of not really changed in how it's been played in the support position over the last few years, other than the fact that like I think a lot of teams took inspiration from watching like South American Tinies, how they played the laning stage. Like they would start with tree grab, they would play with like a lot of regen as opposed to this like boots guy running around trying to do these like epic tossbacks. Like basically SA figured out first how to make Tiny work in the laning phase, and then after the laning phase, we see these like amazing tossback plays, the repositioning.
There are some heroes in the game that are just conceptually broken, right? And as long as you can fit them in that early game, they work no matter what. Tossback, it's just always a broken ability.
And that's like why Earthshaker's starting to get picked again, because like conceptually into the mid game, the hero is really damn good. So just get him past that first.
Getting to the Blink Dagger, so you have 3 spells instead of 2, or instead of 1. Or 2 is actually double the amount that it feels like he has in the early game.
2 is reaching.
Yeah, it is reaching.
Well, I mean, he might end up being there in the highly contested at the end of this major. Who knows? It's all about adaptability when it comes to progressing throughout the major. The heroes, though, that have been looking absolutely fantastic are these 5 on your screen. Yeah, that's right. Storm picked up 10 times and has a 90% win rate. Like, it's insane how high the win rate is for it, considering it's been picked 10 times, and for the changes that happened throughout the patch for it as well.
I think, to be fair with this one, there were like a bunch of hidden changes in the patch where they reduced they increased like all the mana costs on his stuff while also nerfing the null talismans, and then it turned out like that was supposed to be like those were like potential changes.
Even it out a bit, yeah.
But those are like potential changes that were going to go in, and it's like, oh, that was a mistake. They fixed those, and then it was kind of just the null talisman nerfs. So I think people have been overrating the nerfs to Storm, at least in terms of like pub play, but you're still seeing it. Like, it's the best assassin in the game. There's no better hero at jumping some like backline wyvern, and we're seeing a lot of these heroes that like need to be assassinated picked up. So you're jebaited into picking Storm and Spectre, like these types of heroes.
And what about the Chen? You know, it had 30 picks there and a 70% win rate.
That one is insane because he has triple the amount of the other heroes at least, right?
Yeah.
Picked, and he still rocks a 70% win rate. That hero is just too broken. I was just before the tournament. I wanted to freshen up on all the meta and stuff, right? Even though you play, it's not the same. So I open up Jenkins's YouTube channel.
Thanks, Jenkins.
And there he is talking about Chen. So yeah, he knew what's up.
That's right.
Chen was like not really played that much. There was a couple players picking him pre-Riyadh, but then after Poppy just came out and picked it like every game, it's just completely spiked. Like Fisherman went from like 1 game in Tour 3 to like he's trying to play like every single game this tournament. The hero's like really good at. I've seen the ult just completely like remove all initiation damage and like completely turn fights around, and then this penitence with all the creeps, you're just like running them at these supports and they just can't do a single thing about it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he does get picked up today. We're going to have a look at the schedule. In fact, we're going to see the bracket, seeing how all these teams are going to be matching up for the remainder of this major now that we are in playoffs. It's we'll start with the second series that we're going to be covering today in this upper bracket. It is Entity versus OG. Are you guys expecting this to sort of be a quick series, or do you think they're actually quite evenly skilled?
This should be a brawl, right? Like when it comes to Entity, these guys are just surprising us one game after another. They came in with a stand-in, but they're still looking really strong. This 3 semi-cores thing that they're rocking. Yeah. Saberlight, Stormer, the boys. I just love the team. They're my personal little favorites right there.
Yeah, then our third series is going to be Outsiders versus Spirit, which is going to be a nice little regional matchup as well.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see
them
like have to knock each other.
Yeah, that's where my gut went to with that.
Yeah, I think Outsiders won all the last series they played versus Spirit, but like that's good too, right? Because I think Spirits have been very high this tournament, and they have been adapting a lot. They talked about when they played versus Beast Coast, they adapted since the last time they played. So hopefully, same for Outsiders.
Yeah, the last one was also Asta versus Fnatic. If you have any thoughts on that one, Jenkins.
Well, Aster's been looking insane, which is, okay, there's a lot to say about Fnatic. Too,
okay, you have to be quick. We're on a schedule.
That's TSM Fnatic in reality. So that team is, it's so hard to predict that team because it's just a mix of 2 extremely high caliber teams. And then Aster, finally, they've broken the curse, it seems.
They're finally doing well.
They're doing very well at a tournament. We'll see how long that goes for. I hope for the sake of China that it continues, because that's always been their curse, is that they do very well regionally, and then when they come to the lands, they don't do well, and it's the other teams that do well. So it's good to see Astra at the top of their group.
They did actually speak on that. Sorry, they said that like in the past they have been a very unstable team, and they had a lot of like internal problems, and that was what led to those poor performances. And now they're feeling stable, feeling good.
I mean, the most stable team is LGD, right? They have a fantastic record. They are going to be our first series. They're going to be coming up against Boom. So let's have a quick chat about these guys. Just the general series, how you think it's going to play out. Are they both looking to be a lot of high action, high impact sort of games, or do you think these are going to be very methodical, thought out, potentially going to 3-game series?
It depends. If it plays out to how PSG.LGD wants it, it's going to be methodical. If it plays out the way Boom wants it, it's going to be chaos and madness everywhere. And I believe that Boom might get their hand when it comes to reeling it into the chaos, because if you even listen to interviews of the Chinese players, most of them are actually playing on the SCA servers right now. Most of them respect the talent coming from the SCA, the upcoming talent. I think SCA is a rising region, and it's just a matter of time before they take over. So I'm very looking forward to this one.
I have 2 thoughts about it.
Quickly.
The first is that Boom have looked god-awful in their early phases in some of these games, and they need to really be good at that, because otherwise LGD will just crush them. If they can do that, I think this is the main way to beat LGD. You run at them like apes. And Boom can get that feeling going.
Yeah. Do you want to say second? Well, that was a 2-for-1.
Honestly, I forgot the second.
All right. Well, if you guys haven't noticed, there has been a little bit of action going on behind us. Let's jump into this series. It is LGD up against Boom.
We've hit the playoff stage, and it's time for me to speak to some of these players and see how they're feeling before we get into this. Now, Faith, you guys had an incredible group stage, right? 15-1. Your confidence must be super high right now. You must feel unbeatable.
No, we just try our best.
Okay. And do you think that, you're trying your best, you're doing very well. Do you do anything special to make sure you don't feel too overconfident, that you don't get ahead of yourselves, to make sure you do win the games you are supposed to?
Excuse me?
So do you feel like you have to make sure you don't get overconfident, so you just play the game you want? Is there something special you do for that?
Nope, we just feel it's a normal game, and we don't feel too much.
Okay, I like it. I like it. Cool, calm, and collected with it. Now, going up against Boom, what do you make of this team? Can they be a challenge to you?
Yeah, of course. Every team is a challenge.
Respectful as well. And also, I did have to ask one question. We were hearing about your hair growing out a fair amount here. Is there a specific reason for that?
No reason. I just want to try.
You just want to try? Well, it's looking damn good, man. That's for sure. Now, FBZ, you guys had a group stage. It was a bit tough, right? It was not the easiest, but you did manage to make it through on the upper bracket. When you've looked back at this, though, how do you view your performance so far?
Our performance in group stage was ups and downs, but every day we learn something new, and we just want to keep learning in these tournaments, especially against LGD. We want to learn a lot from them.
Okay, not just learn a lot though, right? You want to try and beat them. How hard do you think this game is going to be? Because they're looking super good right now.
Yeah, it's definitely hard. They're better on a lot of things compared to us, but we will do our best. We will play what we always play in group stage,
Okay, but is there something specific you've worked out to try and take them down here to make sure you get an advantage in this game?
We will keep it a secret.
Special tactics, that's what we want to see. Well, guys, you can go and take your place. You may want to shake hands or fist bump, whatever you want to do here, because it's time for us to get into this opening game. Let's get into it.
It is always such a pleasure to catch the players before they jump into their series. So thank you, Banks. Gave us a little bit of information. Boom, hiding some of their cards close to their chest. Sheep, do you think it is possible for them to take a game, potentially this series, off of LGD?
Dude, I truly believe in it. Like, Boom you watch C, you love Boom. They are so fun to watch play. They are so talented when they get going. Like, I talked about a little bit of shakes in the early game, but really, like, when they're oiled up, they get the Yopaj Ember going, they get FBZ on his initiations. Like, this team just comes together and team fights like a menace. If they can just, I think like LGD, they have the potential to catch them by surprise in this game, and it requires a lot of like connecting of heroes. You get Jackie farming, you get the supports together with Yopaj, you run it up, you hit your timings. This team can be really good mid-game.
Okay, do you guys think that it's possible for Boom to take this? Like, how good are LGD looking in your eyes when it comes to this gameplay?
Shake your head. Just do that.
I was gonna just say no.
Okay.
Was it just like, I'm not actually listening to Nat? I have something else going on in my head.
No, for real. What you asked, the question is really nice. Going back to your question, I do think that PSG.LGD are a very tough nut to crack for Boom Esports, especially because they're so methodical around the game. Like, I can completely understand the enthusiasm that is feeling sheepstick right here.
Let's go!
But the problem arises, like, can you actually run it like apes at PSG.LGD and destroy them in the first 10 minutes? Because they allow that to most teams anyway. They allow them to win the early game and then they come back in that 15-20 minutes.
2 words for that. Sonics LGD. How do you think Sonics beat them? They had a bristleback IO Wyvern, so like heals to sustain themselves out on the map constantly. Just keep running, keep running, keep running.
That's Jenkins's region. They were underestimated, right, Jenkins?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Quickly before the draft is going to be coming up very soon, I want to have a look at some of the unique heroes that these teams have been playing, the players, what they've been looking at, picking up throughout this group stage.
Yeah, LGD are like picking so many different heroes. It's kind of insane. I think Nothing to Say have played Winter Wyvern twice before picking at this tournament, and like that was only one in semi-recent history. Like, these guys are just playing random stuff, Faith offlane Coddle. You don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, but do you need a lot of heroes, Jenkins, to actually be the greatest? Don't you just practice? I saw your notes.
No,
I
saw
March.
Jenkins did a lot of notes, and I actually want to know what those notes were, Jenkins. I want to know what you're thinking of the matchup.
I'm thinking FBZ Mars, Yopaj Ember. All right, these guys, they have their specialty. They have their specialty heroes against Team Aster yesterday. The game 2 actually like spoke to me more than game 1. They lost game 2 just because it looked so incredibly difficult to play, and yet they figured out a way in the team fights to like win the game. We have a draft, by the way.
We have a draft.
I think basically what I was saying about Boom.
Out your thoughts.
They're like a very emotional team. It seems that way. Like looking in, that they're very good with momentum, and if they figured something out, like how to win the team fights, like they'll push it to the absolute limits, and they're extreme. The only reason they can do this is because they're extremely good at their specialty heroes. Okay, that's the only way that they can pull off like the mechanical feats that they did in game 2 versus Aster.
And those specialty heroes, I'm sure Sheep will agree, are Mars and Snapfire. We've seen that versus Aster, right? Are we getting those? No, they're going with the Monkey King opening actually instead.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the difference in healing supports on these two teams because LGD have been playing way more overall healing on their POS 5s, whereas Skem can actually play like aggressive heroes. He's picked Dazzle here. Dazzle and Wyvern were his 2 favorite healing heroes of this patch. Wyvern's banned. But yeah, outside of that, he has been playing like Rubik's, Clocks, Snapfires. You pair these heroes with the team who want to run at you, and it's been going really well.
That Earthshaker coming out last pick for LGD. Are you surprised that they're going back to this, that they're trying to really make it work, or it's just a tried and true throughout this group stage?
I think I'm not surprised. Like you see the Death Prophet opener, like we've talked about this so many times. Shaker just enables these offlaners that like the Death Prophet, like the Razor, like the Batrider. They got one of those and they follow up with the Shaker. The lane should be quite all right for a long-haired beast that we just saw on the stage, and Shaker will enable that.
No, I like Shaker with any of these like ranged fast offlaners that just want the lane in a good spot, like the offlaners that slowly run at you. That the longer the lane is, the Vipers, the Razors, the Death Prophets. Like the longer the lane is, like basically the better lane they'll have. And Earthshaker obviously is probably the best support at pulling the lane back. And something also really nice about the Earthshaker versus like healing heroes like Dazzle, like Oracle, Winter Wyvern, which we're seeing a lot of in this tournament and in general, is that like you initiate on somebody with like Echo Slam and Fissure or whatever, but then you fissure the backlines while you're going on a frontliner. And so it lets you like take team fights where you don't have to just kill the Dazzle first, because you can often stun the Dazzle on the back line, fissure them off, and then focus a frontliner. So it helps you deal with healing supports in a way that's not just, oh, focus the healer. No, you don't have to, because you can stun them on the back lines.
Zinkyu's been playing a super active Shaker as well. It's actually just been such a pleasure. Because he's super reactive with his TPs, and he knows exactly who he has to stand behind at all times. Like, LGD do a really good job of reading the map, so they know, like, oh, this is where a gank is likely to be. This is probably where this team is playing. I'm going to go stand behind this guy. And the amount of times he's gotten off fantastic, like, counter fissures and echo slams is great.
And the bans coming from Boom actually run quite deep as well. Like you see the Chen, he's the most played hero, I believe, with the Shaker and these kind of long lane offlaners that Jenkins called them, like the Razors, like that Prophet's Vipers. And then followed up with a Lone Druid that isn't that great versus that Prophet. You wouldn't pick it up, so you ban it yourself. But there we go. I actually expected this to be banned if not picked in the first phase.
Yeah, do you guys think it's one of those things they don't ban it out because they want to sort of quote-unquote predict the draft, give them something that they know they're comfortable with and they'll pick up if they can, and you have the way to counter that, Mars?
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have nothing to add. That's a really good point. I completely agree. That's it.
They knew it was coming. There's no way that they didn't. They must feel like. I mean, there's like an argument behind like just playing against controlled variables, but then there's also an argument behind like they think maybe these next two picks it's going to be something that counters the Mars. We saw Night Stalker in another game was pretty nice. The instant silence, you can like almost never connect a spear on him, a spear arena, and then you can just fly out of the arena. That's always a pretty nice one. But we'll see what LGD's answer to it is. I don't think there's just not an answer.
I think like a Night Stalker might make the offlane weaker with a Shaker, potentially abusable. They are still very strong though, because both heroes are really high in like their stats and how they can trade in the lane. So LGD could potentially like have some stuff there where they get some Fissure blocks off and just are able to run and trade at you and just make sure you're buying regen on like Shaker instead of boots.
It just makes Boom's lanes even more straightforward. I think if you go for Night Stalker,
I don't think they will not.
Yeah, you have the Monkey as well, right? Like it's a decent idea, but with the Monkey it could be problematic. They go with the Void instead.
Oh, that's great. That's like a big Chinese hero. They had not so many picks, but loads of bans. Like everyone was really respecting what they could do with the Faceless. It's like they don't even care that they're playing into saves like Dazzle. I think the hero, like just time dilation, you're able to kind of skirmish early. You bring your chrono, and you always have like a win condition for your fight.
Do you think another support's going to be picked up here and then, you know what, don't worry, they just pick the Ench instead?
Hell yeah. That just makes their lanes really strong. That's what Ench does. It's like her purpose.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's literally all.
The only thing she does.
You want to win lanes, you pick Ench.
Hey. Some of these players go power treads, go get a Dragon Lance.
Oh, you're right.
Some of these players actually do dish out quite a bit of damage later on, which is nice. And Enchant, it still dispels, so that's an additional value. But I agree. Yeah, the only thing she does right now, realistically, is win lanes.
I mean, I think the one thing I really like, though, about it is the vision that it gives. Because when I was looking at Shaker, I was thinking what Night Stalker would do is provide vision. You see your enemies, you're able to go on them. Faceless Void is similar. He wants to see heroes. So Ench, with Enchant, she can send creeps out onto the map.
Or she just walks in.
Or she can walk in, yeah, exactly. Use her body, use her creeps, plus wards. They should have like a pretty good read on where Boom is, and you can use that to get your ult spells off.
Boom, thinking about their last pick here, do you think they're going to go for something that reveals where the Monkey King's going, or potentially pick up the mid laner here?
I wouldn't mind even getting that Snapfire once again for Boom. Get some more damage in that arena. Would be quite solid. It's something that they worked with before. There are other heroes that are possible as well, like a Phoenix with that tag. Perhaps I don't like it as much as the Snap. But overall, they have many ways to continue with this draft. I do believe that Monkey should be the core here and not the position 4 anyway.
They did leave Ember in. That's like my biggest thought right now. Are they going to just take it because they're comfortable, or are they going to try and pick something a little bit more focused to winning the game? Because like DP versus Ember matchup mid is like pretty DP favored. So maybe like that's LGD's thoughts about leaving it in.
10 seconds.
Yeah, like when you look at
of course, they picked the Doom naturally, as we predicted.
Good work, guys.
Good job, guys.
I've never seen such an accurate panel of analysts in my life.
I'm going to be honest. The Doom is. I always feel like when it comes out, it's.
Is this a 4 Doom, by the way? Is that what we're looking at? It could be mid as well, right?
It could be mid. Could be a carry.
There was one short period of time in SCA when Doom was played on mid quite a lot, and it did well. But
so you think it's in the back pocket, right? Like it's the skills, the mid laner. Yopaj probably has the ability to play it there if they wanted to swap up the lane.
yeah, I wouldn't want to see Yopaj playing the Doom. That's first. Second, Doom here is literally his ultimate. Like you pop that bad boy on the Void, you win a team fight if you manage to do it fast enough, right? So
at this point, you want the Monkey King carry and the Doom is 4 because it doesn't feel that impactful.
That's the way I see it. That's the way I would prefer it. Yeah.
I mean, speaking about Doom in terms of Boom, they don't play this hero. Like Tour 3, I don't think they picked it a single time. I am not sure if they picked it this tournament yet, but we saw Yopaj play Coddle for literally the first time in his entire pro career this group stage, and you could see his unfamiliarity with the hero during the early stage, and then later it popped off. Yeah. So maybe Doom's the same. I'm assuming they've been scrimming with it. It is a hero that other players tend to play a lot, so maybe they're just trying to expand their hero pools here. Yeah. It makes me worried, obviously, because I don't know how it's going to go, but it is a good pick here.
Right, if you look at LGD's last 2 bans, it's 3 bans even. It's literally the safe laners, right? Like the CK, the Terrorblade, the Bloodseeker. So they're expecting something different. They're not perhaps expecting the Monkey King to be that position 1.
Do you think that Boom needs something to scale a lot harder into late game, have that damage, or they're kind of looking okay on those fronts right now?
I would rather see some playmaking mid laner from them. What, Jenkins, do you like some spirit here, or?
I think a spirit, yeah, it seems kind of like an obvious pick, but I don't know. I guess I'm thinking like there's a lot of mind games going on in this draft between both teams. Doom coming out a little strange. They've not played it. Faceless Void, Ame has not played this either, so it's like from both sides, it's hard to make any predictions. I would say if this is not a playoff game, then probably like the Ember Spirit seems like the most obvious thing to come out right now, because Boom is lacking a hero to actually run around and do stuff. Sure, Mars can do it, but he's like a 1-item hero that does stuff, like 1 or 2 items. Like you need Blink, you need Phase.
Ember needs nothing.
Ember needs literally nothing. Like he can just run around and do stuff, and you always like want to have one of those heroes, unless you're, picking a Doom, getting a Midas, and doing this like crazy late game strategy. But that's kind of out of the ordinary, at least on this patch.
Yeah. Maybe Yopaj would, like, if I think about his comfort, he really likes his Kunkka as well. If you're able to use like the run buff against the Chrono and a little bit more extra catch, I'm just scared that if they don't have Doom to use on like Faceless or DP, they don't have the damage right now to kill all of them. Like there's so many heroes on LGD that are so hard to kill, just through innate like tankiness or healing.
Radiant team pick.
Well, LGD Zeus gets all the way to last phase and they are able to pick it up.
I feel like if you're Boom with the Zeus pick, you are desperate for something that jumps the back lines. You cannot play this game. You can, but it will be very difficult if you do not have that potential to jump the Zeus, to jump the Void as well.
There's a lot that's banned though. Like Tiny's banned, Storm is banned, Puck is banned, Invoker's still in there.
I hope they don't go for some lane countering such as TA or something like that. It's good in the lane, but later on you might have issues.
They could just take a Void Spirit. Oh my god, a Venom?
Oh, that's the... Okay, so Doom should be mid with this, right? And then the Venom is offlane versus the Void. Venom is one of the hardest counters to the Faceless Void. I don't like the hero too much.
It's a Mars mid.
Right.
Mars mid, okay, that works too.
Alright, so carry... Oh wait, it's carry Monkey and it's support Doom. This is a weird draft, man. This is
weird.
This is weird as hell for them.
Alright, weird, wacky. Either way, the drafts are completed though, and obviously you guys are gonna have to share some of your thoughts about where you think game 1 is gonna be.
I'll be the odd one out. I'll go with Boom game 1. Like this Venom for me, I hate the hero, but the lane itself makes a lot of sense, and it's hard for an Earthshaker to actually get that blink and do stuff when there's snakes everywhere on the map.
All right, I will counter argue that in support of LGD and say that Venom destroys Void in a 1v1, but I think Enchantress is very infuriating to play against as Venomancer. I think there's a lot of feeds that can happen there.
Okay.
All right, Sheep, you are the quote-unquote tiebreaker here.
Tiebreaker?
Yeah.
All right, boys. I've never seen Venom win a game in his life, so.
That's right.
That wasn't hard. Yeah.
Easy bet against. Is that what you're going to go there?
I will never bet against Boom. So I'll go
that's
with
it.
Boom
That's
anyway.
Oh, really?
Even though I've never seen Venom win a game in his life, if one man can do it, it's FBZ.
That's right. It could potentially be Boom at taking game one in this best of 3, but we are going to head over to our casters, Gareth and Lacoste.
Thank you. Yeah, some interesting drafting coming out there. DP first pick, kind of unsettled Boom, and a Veno last pick for them. What do you reckon about these two drafts, Lacoste?
I mean, Venomancer, first of all, he's pretty similar to Viper. A lot of the times we see him dominate the lane for first like 5-10 minutes, and then he tends to fall off. Look at the way the PSG.LGD drafted. They did draft the strong lanes. Enchantress is there to stabilize the lane for Faceless Void. We'll have healing.
Kill that Veno off.
It's a difficult lane for Faceless Void, don't get me wrong, but they shifted things around a little bit on side of Boom Esports, and they will have mid-Mars and this position for Doom. I think they wanted to have Doom as a counter to the lane in against the Enchantress to be able to eat the creep that whatever Enchantress brings. They're going to take it and use it against them.
Stop her pressure early on.
Pretty much.
That's a pretty solid idea as we can head ourselves into game one of this best of 3. And again, an important series for Boom, right? Looking towards TI. If they're able to take down LGD, it will secure them that spot at the International. And also, kind of an interesting series for Tundra, because if LGD are the ones that win this, Tundra are secured. Shout out to Knoxville for running the numbers and the simulations, getting us all the stats. Looking at that road to TI for all these teams.
Yeah, and here we go. Both teams smoke, different side of the map, so there's not going to be any connection with them. Looking at some of these starting items, nothing out of ordinary there. Venomancer, FBZ wants to tank up, going for double circlet, double branch, as much pressure as possible on Faceless Void early on.
An early move from Boom into triangle. Monkey King in courier mode, all smoked up, getting a couple of wards down towards that bottom rune spot.
I just realized, because Jinkyu did use Slammin, voice chat wheel line, you can do that and fake that you used Echo.
Slammin? Yeah, you can. Oh,
not right now, but later on. And
immediate D ward.
They will kill it, and they will kill their own ward. We'll keep it for now, leaving it to be able to kill it in one hit.
Ah, good little setup by them.
These observer wards, they're very tanky against the allied attacks.
So many hits to bring them down.
So if they see someone getting closer to ward, they will be able to one-shot it potentially. So this is smart. PSG.LGD, they're really on next level.
Yeah, every little move and every little play they make is just down to the wire efficiency-wise. They've got everything planned out incredibly well. So in that mid lane, Yopaj up against nothing to say. Mars against the Zeus. And for the most part, going to be a farm trade in the early days. Spam out your spells, gather up the water runes. But we have seen LGD really put a lot of emphasis on the 4-minute rune to come in and guard it for nothing to say, and maybe even gank this Mars.
This is how PSG.LGD has been playing so far. Every single time there is not one, sometimes even 2 supports going for that 4-minute water rune.
Yeah, and when you've got Enchantress and Earthshaker, they are exceptionally good.
Yeah,
they love it.
You don't necessarily need to move with the Enchantress. You can send a creep and potentially deny that rune if you see Mars coming to it.
True.
How's Faceless Void doing? 3-1 against Venomancer's 2-0. So far, so good for Ame. PSG.LGD did pick that Enchantress to have Nature Attendance level 1. Tims found the Chain Lightning creep.
And down bottom, Jinkyu just going to drag the wave around, while Jackie going to make that lane meet in between Tier 1, Tier 2 down bottom. Skem trying to play aggressively here, but there are 2 dire heroes nearby, so a little more challenging for the Dazzle to get any denies or control that creep equilibrium as he would want.
Skem likes to play a dangerous game. Could potentially get fissured here.
Oh, it's on the wrong side, but Yi up at top. Enchantress and the Nature's Attendance at level 1 with the Tango going, more than enough heal. While Ame still has that ability to jump away.
Block Doom.
They've caught him inside the trees. The time walk out. Tim is very near death. Gets out another zap, but first blood spill. Enchantress picks it up. And this lane, which Boom picked the Venomancer to apply pressure to LGD, just isn't coming.
This is supposed to be the lane where they are the ones getting the kills, being dominant. Ame making an adjustment, getting that time dilation at level 2, knowing that these spells are on cooldown. And if you have Doom, which means that if he uses Chain Lightning, you get extra value because he has an extra spell.
Yeah.
I love when you do, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it means I said something smart.
Well,
it sounded like
I think that's my catchphrase this tournament. Just you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, incredible point, Lacoste. Jin-Q, always going to get battered by Jackie here. So bottom lane for Boom, picking up a kill on the position 4. Faith Bian, no poison touch on him, just going to drag the remnants of the wave back. Even has the additional melee and range creep, wondering where their buddies are and following through.
A bit of a difficult lane for them to play at bottom. That's why they fisher the first wave, drag the second one, and they're going to keep dragging until they feel relatively secure, until Dead Prophet gets some levels. And also Earthshaker is only level 1, so that means you use Fisher for 20 seconds. That's about it. You're not doing much.
Zeus, 16-0. A good 7 denies there from the Mars, though. Closing in on that level 5. And once we get to 6, we know how this Zeus can play. Or more like how his teammates can play. Get aggressive in the side lanes, look for that Thunder God's Wrath to snipe people out. Whereas Mars, maybe a little bit slower, more a reactive hero looking for that arena to try and get some kills.
Once Zeus hits level 6, you know that there's going to be more aggression on both the side lanes.
Faith Bian. Jin-Q stacks it up for Jackie, but Spirit Siphon and a good two-man Fisher. More than enough for LGD just to hold back Boom. Lane's still going pretty well for them, though. Monkey King Mars doing very well. Oh, he snipes it. What's that? Wraithband Recipe and the Wand.
And we'll drag a creep wave one more time. This is exactly how you need to play this lane. You don't want to trade against Monkey Dazzle.
Nothing to say.
Too difficult.
He's been found by Scam. He's spam pinging for help, but it's not coming fast enough. Oh, the Fisher block. Is that going to get him out of here? Pops the water root. He's got stick charges to play with. Tried to deny himself to neutrals, but Scam was there, still up on the high ground, and there's the D-ward we were waiting for.
Maybe he could have tried to use a stick and Fairy Fire if he had boots in his inventory, but unfortunately Courier delivered it into backpack, and he realized, I'll save the sticks for the next one.
Yeah, one of those awkward things where the Courier delivers things in reverse. Maybe a little bit of a change-up could have saved his life. Not working out for him, though. So first death for the Zeus in that mid lane. Greek God against the Roman one. Mars 22 and 8 is up at top. Tims and FBZ. This lane for Boom, was it meant to like hardcore dominate LGD? Are things going okay for them, or do they need a lot more?
You picked it specifically to counter Faceless Void. Ame is getting too much out of this lane. Right. Not just in terms of CS, but he has 11 denies.
That's nutty. And what's he going for? Like Treads and the Mask of Madness, it looks like, on the Faceless Void.
Pretty standard stuff on Faceless Void. You want to have Mask of Madness to have some extra damage and sustain in the jungle. It does amplify your farm. Getting the Maelstrom and the BKB should be straightforward. Zeus is level 6, but has no mana, so that's a bit difficult. Very close to buying energy boosters. Need one extra creep, and we'll be able to get it. And then I expect them to start to play a bit more aggressive here, especially on the Monkey King lane. Because once Jin-Q hits level 3, you will have another way of stunning people. Needs that aftershock. Because right now, he's still a Fisher.
Yeah. He is. Try and block that Monkey King. And with the global damage, look for the kill. Radiant Observer Ward sees nothing to say. He wants his 6-minute bounty rune. I do spot Tims roaming around here. Throws the mana burn back onto the Enchantress. And an invis grabbed by the Mars. He's level 6 and ready to fight. Two heroes here. Oh, Yopatch goes straight for nothing to say. Catches him against the edge of the arena. Misses the God's Rebuke, though, and he just jumps straight over it. No Colosseum can hold this man in, and the turnaround for Jin-Q and Y now. Straight onto him with a Thunder God's Wrath. LGD strike back. Skem dies as well. And Tims, do they have another slow? No more stuns. Jin-Q out of mana. And LGD so fortunate.
This looked like Olympic Games, pretty much, and he is the god of Olympus at the end of the day, so manages to get the gold medal after the jump and gets the kill.
What's he doing, the long jump, the triple jump, or is he going for that nice little backflip over the bar, the high jump, is it called? Get over the walls of that arena.
Yeah, I never understood that jumping with a pole thing. Like, everyone can see...
Oh, vault jumping?
Yeah, vault jumping. You have a pole. Well, like, it's not like it's not there. Everyone sees that you're using it, right? It's like, wow, you jump so high.
He's flying! It's incredible how high they can go, though. Flopping around over the bars. Good Fisher. Again, Jin-Q, right place, right time. Jackie going to try and save Skem here, but I don't think it's going to work out. Grave will slow things down a little, but Faith Beyond is going to get turned around on as Jackie picks up Jin Q, and Tim's chasing into the Enchantress now. So Boom did have enough with the arrival of the Doom. But LGD, Nature's attendance on the Enchantress, probably going to be enough of a deterrent there to say to Boom, nah, you're not getting me.
A little pressure off Fate Beyond, who did manage to get to level 6 from the solo experience from bottom lane, so Exorcism is available. Ahmed does have a Chrono as well. I don't know if he wants to play too aggressive in terms of rotations. They could potentially rotate one of the heroes top and try to get a kill, but they can also wait until he farms Mask of Madness, and then you have potentially a solo kill if you're lucky enough.
Yeah, just with your own attack damage. And I guess DP, she's got that option right, maybe could rotate to come with the Exorcism, but more likely would prefer to push the bottom tier 1.
Ame playing very defensive on the top lane, putting more points in Time Walk, understands that it's not about getting the kills, it's about getting the most out of this matchup against the Venomancer, so every single time he gets killed, he gets hit, we'll be using that Time Walk, and he did survive what was the hardest part of the game for him against the Venomancer.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes.
First 5-10 minutes. Doom, level 4.
Yeah, Ame.
Not too much of a threat.
That's my creep, isn't it? Yopaj. Good read from Ame. Jumping away, not going for that one additional CS, instead just going back into the jungle.
Is under attack.
And Dire Vision there, did see them coming in towards that top lane.
I think everyone, including me, everyone including chat, and most of the players would definitely die there.
Yeah, you want that one creep, it's a big creep. I'm going to kill it.
Because you heavily invested. You used the Time Walk, you used Time Dilation on top of that, and a couple of stops for your last hit.
It's a gambler's fallacy, right? You've invested so much into it, you don't want to back out now. Ame knows all about fallacies. He's not going to fall into them. Tim's just going to zap him a little bit, mana burn away. But LGD, they are amassing their forces around that mid lane. Glyph already used up. Death Prophet doesn't have Exo. She's taking it down bottom with that tier 1 already falling.
Radiant's middle tower.
So 84 seconds for that to come back up. So it's just a little bit of slow pressure in towards mid, maybe forcing Boom to react and try a team fight around this Mars arena. Veno's going to be the one that comes and plants his body in the mid lane. Yopaj does have a DD rune, but the Hurricane down to low ground. The Fissure blocking him in. There's a decent arena catching the edge, blowing her up, but he's saved by the Grave. Popped his full wand as well to survive through the blast.
He's tanky now, but look at that envenomed weapon, almost getting him killed. He thought that he's going to get more healed by the magic wand than Urn of Shadows.
Oh, look at the Urn. He used the charge. It healed him like 30 HP or something because of that full assassin HP reduction.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nasty little creep. Well, he's got his Plague Wards in the mid lane, as it looks like the Enchantress just sends the Wild Wing with the remaining time on it to hit the tower. LGD smoking now, though. Enchantress and Earthshaker pretty good at continual fighting without really relying on any cooldowns. As long as they've got creeps and Fissure, they can rely on the Zeus to do the big damage. And if they find the Mars here with a heavily jump and a Fissure there, nothing to say Y and Jin Q. They'll chip away at him. There's no massive burst, but they should find this in the end. He'll spear and catch the Zeus on the way out. It's a good one to delay their advance forward. And Yopaj, maybe he's back in the trees, far enough away from LGD to survive.
Nice done by Boom. This was initiation from nothing to say. Like, they didn't have a way to initiate, so he uses Heavenly Jump. And, yeah, I think I said it multiple times already. The best item Jin Q uses is Tumbler's Toy. And that was a nice clutch play from Yopaj using God's Rebuke to stop the Tumbler's Toy midair.
It's good stuff. Yeah, Tumbler's Toy and Jin Q, whether it's Tiny or Earthshaker, he's hopping around everywhere. Tim's is level 6 now. Has the Doom, and he's waiting on top of this staircase. Faith Beyond not going to rise to it, though. He's heading in towards mid lane. Tim's wants to chase this. Tumbler's Toy from him, not going to connect on the DP. Can't get there with Infernal Blade, and in fact, it's Faith Beyond who wants to turn this into more of a fight. They're just trying to bait Boom here into something that they're not ready for.
Tumbler's Toy is like a bludgeon blade. Mom, can we have Blink, we have Blink at home. And Blink at home is this thing.
Oh, yes, the store brand Blink dagger. I feel like one hero we've not really seen too much outside of the laning stage is Monkey King. What's he been up to the past 3 or 4 minutes?
He's been farming up. He does have Maelstrom ready to go. That's going to be his farming tool. And also, he will be joining fights relatively early on because he does have a support from Dazzle.
Oh, yeah, not having the greatest time at this tournament. 22 picks.
You know why? Because people do still buy Hand of Midas on Monkey King. As a first item, especially in a losing game.
Trying to be too greedy. Trying to catch up. LGD, again with these deep wards. They love them on top of the staircases, opting not to put them on top of these high ground spires where they are very easily de-warded, but still giving a nice wide amount of vision.
It's difficult to approach. FBZ,
oh, look, Scam just puts one straight on top of it.
FBZ has planted his body on a mid lane. Plague wards are maxed out, so it makes it very difficult for them to approach. You need to either like heavily commit, and then you're gonna be taking damage from the towers and also potential buybacks, because buybacks right now are very cheap. Yopaj, he's trying to farm up his Blink Dagger. Once they get that, I expect Boom to make one aggressive rotation. We still haven't seen a Chronosphere being used, but there's the arena.
Yeah, goes for the solo kill on Earthshaker, but the Echo Slam Fisher, oh, GQ, he's setting up in a 1v2, and Arme has the Chrono to turn it straight back around on Boom. They were not expecting this.
This was only level 1 Aftershock from Earthshaker, but he still did manage to get them in place. And one thing I really like about PSG.LGD is their ability to understand like who needs to be where. And this is like Ahmed, he needs to TP first, not anybody else. It's your carry TP because it's a setup for Chrono.
Yes, that order of operations we keep talking about. LGD know the algorithm for any given moment in the game. It's step A, B, C. Every player is on the same page and snapping into action quickly. As we just saw Jackie maybe waste his Wukong's command attempting on the Faithless Void, but Enchantress places herself in harm's way, tags the gank for the rest of her team. No Poison Nova leveled up just yet for the Veno, opting to max out the Plague Wards. Pretty good at soft shoving towers, creating that bunker to defend your own, and then a nice bit of zoning in an area as they pressure into tier 1 mid.
One team they try to spam it out. They do have Fisher, they do have Zeus and Dead Prophet as well. So damage will be done by mostly heroes and Venom wards. Eventually the tower is going to drop PSG.LGD. Will not be able to defend it.
A long line drawn down to bottom jungle. Boom, maybe expecting LGD to go and set up camp down there. I do have 2 very good observer wards. One just expiring though from LGD. And a smoke from Boom. They're going to see the Death Prophet showing that bot wave, but this could be an opportunity to get into Triangle as well. Now, one thing they are struggling with, though, is deep vision. Boom have not really been able to keep wards up. That watches for the Void farming, can't really see the Zeus. So a Death Prophet here is the best that they're going to get. Unless Faith Beyond runs it back. I mean, Tims and Scam are the ones leading the charge. They need the Mars.
They need Mars.
There he is. Arena Spear, catch the DP. They're going to throw the Doom in on to her as well. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but a kill is a kill. And Boom will take what they can get.
Just to make sure, I think if Dead Prophet had different itemization, they would not drop Doom, but with this Yule Scepter, not an item you usually see on Dead Prophet, but it's really good here because you can buy time inside the arena. If you don't get bursted from 100 to 0, which just happened, you can use it on a hero that is Grave, and also the spell against Venomancer.
Super useful all around.
And the spell Monkey on top of that.
Oh yeah, when he's got the Jingu stacks on him. Take them off. Something that Enchantress can also try and do with the Enchant. LGD. A mild 1k net worth lead, has nothing to say. Hops over the spear. Gets away from that dangerous initiation from Yopaj. But a really nice timing on this Blink Dagger from Earthshaker. And green lights all across the board for LGD. They've got every ulti ready, and Arme is going to use it. FBZ being focused. Scam is here in position with the Grave, but Arme is jumping out there. Doesn't want to continue focusing FBZ, who dies to the Enchantress in the end anyway. Didn't TP fast enough.
a lot of commitment. They did use Chrono and Zeus ulti. They got that kill on FBZ. But that also means that potentially Boom can make an aggressive move. I would like them to smoke up. Lanes are in a decent spot and try to make something done with.
He might be thinking about going in there.
If it was level 2 EXO and if they had Chrono, but right now it just doesn't feel like they want to risk anything too much. 30 seconds for Monkey King that still does have buyback, so potentially could use it. Nothing to say. Different item build from him as well, going for BKB as his second/third item. He did pick up a shard after finishing Kaya. Wants to be able to protect himself against Arena and Venomancer.
He's already used Heavenly Jump. Oh, I don't think Enchantress can save him here. They've caught out the Zeus as he went for that Arcane Rune. Arme does jump in and out. Throws the reverse Uno card in there as FBZ being focused by Faith Beyond, and he's left all alone to his own devices with a Grave and a bit of backup from his Doom and Dazzle. Still not enough to keep the Veno alive. 1-for-1 trade, but Boom gonna be happy they've killed the Zeus. He's on the sidelines for 30 seconds.
He does have Arcane Rune when he respawns, so potentially lined up with the Chrono. Yopaj looking for an opening.
Nature attend us.
Let's see who they can find. Nobody just yet. Enchantress, again, such a good hero from position 5, just to put her body in harm's way, scout people out.
This is what YY has been doing amazingly, not just this tournament, but pretty much his whole career, being able to break the smokes and so many times I've seen them try to go smoke. They find Enchantress and can't even get a kill on her.
So it's not worth it. We don't want to be spending ultis just to kill a Pons 5.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Still a pretty quiet one from Jackie. His net worth is still climbing. Not looking too bad in terms of scaling here for the Monkey King. And it feels like Boom have got to pick up the pace reasonably soon. You know, once LGD get a 3, 4, 5k lead 20 minutes in, there's very little chance of going back into it. As Yopaj, he's being focused down quickly by Nothing to Say and blown up before there's even a Grave. Scam on the run back now, and Jackie just going to leap across the treetops there. LGD coming high ground though. The Boundless Strike connects on in. Jinkyu dives into the back lines, and Wukong's it's removed out. Monkey King has bailed on this. They've lost 3 heroes, and the 4th one is about to fall. FBZ hunted down by LGD, and that 4k lead turns into 5, will turn into 6, and Boom running out of gas.
That was a fight without even using Chrono, Dead Prophet ulti, or Echo Slam. So things are getting very difficult for Boom. Yopaj did jump in, and Arena was on cooldown for like 6 or 7 seconds. So a bit of a uncharacteristic mistake there.
And FBZ, I mean, we saw the Boom players a little nervous coming into Game 1 during their draft. No surprise. Oh, mate, an absolute beast. BK. Away. And once you care about the Mars, the Veno, Shinkyu initiated on. It's a pretty big kill. Not Earthshaker off the map for 30 seconds means count the lanes.
As I said, one's going to be done on Ame. No, it's not going to be route. See where they are. Thinking about Throsh. This is the one that we mentioned. Exorcism, level 2 Chronosphere is ready. So getting a pick off. Venomancer seconds. Not sure if he wants to commit. They did smoke. Yopaj, he needs a good opener. spin, potentially Fate Beyond before he gets a BKB off.
It feels like
long wrap around.
You've got to. If you don't go for this, you're just
it's going to be too late.
Handing the game over to LGD, and you're right. It looks like about to fall. Arme back into the pit to clear it up and get the Aegis. There's the BKB from Faith Beyond, dodging the spear. Arena wasted. Monkey BKBs just to run away.
Radiant's top tower.
And Boom now trapped on the enemy side of the map. They're behind enemy lines, but they are no... He's got the stun to stop the TP. Scam the Dazzle will try and make this last as long as possible. Delay his death.
Oh!
He's blown up.
He stunned him as well.
His TP's cancelled. He's found the Mars.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Wise also getting super farmed on position 5, almost as farmed as Venomancer, which is kind of surprising. Does have Force Staff, Casual Cloak, Holy Locket, so a lot of healing is going into Glimmer Cape, and also wants to pick up a shard. This shard is really good against the overtime damage that Boom has.
Super powerful with that Locket. Well, LGD, once again, mid-game comes and they are incredibly comfortable. 10,000 net worth to the good. And Boom with a lot on their plate. Tim's trying to get to his BKB. They're going to need the perfect initiation. And wait out this Aegis, and then you look towards the Doom on the Faceless Void, the jump on the Zeus in the backlines. I think most importantly, FBZ with its level 2 Poison Nova has to... You've got to get a 5-man Nova, get them trapped in the Wukongs, do that AoE damage.
Okay, calm down, Gary. Do they need a black hole on top of that to repick Dazzle into Enigma to be able to win it? They might need to, because...
Triple Battle Fury Ember Spirit with Rapiers.
These fights are very difficult right now. There are 3 BKBs done on PSG.LGD. And they're going to be ready to strike. 15 seconds until Chrono. Aegis is available for another minute. Why? He's not afraid of anything. Pops that Nature Attendance, ready to go and scout the high ground.
Faith Beyond as well. Knowing that with his BKB, there's very little that can kill him and catch him.
Scepter.
That was so quick! The reactions on this man. Stops Tim's initiation, Jackie. He's got to Wukongs to try and battle into LGD, but that's expenditure that they could not afford. Nothing to say. He's in the middle of the arena, but doesn't give a damn about this. Arme will turn and hit into Jackie as the Aegis not even being claimed. The 2-man Chrono is LGD clear through Boom. And surely this game is out of their hands now.
What a beautiful play there from Fate Beyond. They did have an Observer Ward on the high ground, so he precasts Yul Scepter on Doom. He knew that the initiation is going to come, and beautifully done. They didn't lose anyone. They didn't even lose Aegis on Ame.
Yeah, baiting and baiting.
Yeah, because there is
high ground ward, you're right.
High ground ward does allow him. These players, they're one step ahead.
I knew it was coming. Still, great execution. Nothing to say, just BKBs, runs in, pops an illusion rune, and the lack of damage and control from Boom, very apparent in this fight. And Xingqiu jumps into the backlines, and LGD clearing up, accelerating towards victory. Still chances for Boom, though, with smoke ganks, maybe some good vision. They can find a couple of pick-offs to come back into the game, but against LGD it is a mountain that few teams have climbed.
Only Sonics have managed to take a game off PSG.LGD so far. And,
but no one's really come back against LGD, have they?
That's true, that's true. And also Sonic's the team that got the last place in the groups, so a bit of
an unusual victory.
Unusual, indeed, victory there. Glimmer Cape, not going to save you against Zeus.
Nah, he's got the vision. The Grave will buy a bit of time. Boom are filtering in to try and get in. Tims will doom the Zeus, but FBZ already dead. Well, catch out, nothing to say, but the Echo Slam from Xingqiu holds the Doom in place, and Yopaj, well, his arena, it'll hold a couple of them inside. Jackie Yulesed up now. A 2-for-1 so far as the Wukongs will force LGD to reset, but Arme's hunting for the Dazzle. Now moves back in, looks for Jackie, stuns him up, stops any retreat, and they'll bring this Monkey King down, dethroned and killed off.
They're toying with Monkey King. Fate Beyond once again. Yul Scepter coming into a play. Very clutch, using it while he's using the Wukong's command. Everyone has enough time to reset. Ame memeing at this point. Amene, if you want to call it. He blinks in, blinks out, does not have vision on Dazzle, gets out and starts bashing Monkey King.
Yeah.
They don't have enough damage. They did manage to kill one target. It was Zeus, but knowing that the Doom is down, Fate Beyond still has that ulti available. Level 3 will pop it and go for the high ground.
Yeah. Go straight up there to the tier 3. 4 alive for Boom, but with no Monkey King, there's no defense here. And Jinkyu doing such a great job with this Aghanim Shard, stunning, catching, and continuing to disable the Venomancer as he looks to retreat from these objectives. The barracks are glyphed up for now, buying a bit of time for the Monkey King to respawn, and LGD very defensive maneuver to fall back away from that. Not giving up anything. They don't want to lose a fight on the doorstep of Boom. Instead, coming back to clear through Ancients, get some D-wards going, and just wait for a couple more of those big ultimates to come off cooldown.
Another set of items going to come for PSG.LGD. Lincoln's about to be done on Ame, and they don't have abilities that can proc the Lincolns anyway, because Doom is holding War Stomp. Dazzle's not going to be in range, so that means Doom is not getting on Faceless Void ever. They also do have a Lotus Orb to precast from Fate Beyond, so that's definitely going to help out a lot. And the Jinkyu is also going to finish one. So multiple Dispel mechanics against Poison Touch, against Venomancer, and also not allowing Doom to use the ulti the way he wants to.
And another catch. The Grave is there. Yopaj spearing up the Faith Beyond Death Prophet, but they've killed off Skem. And Tim's, yes, you've doomed the DP, but what next with a 2-man Chrono? In comes Arme, will kill off the Monkey King. Regicide committed, and
this is it, Gary.
Almost a team wipe. He might actually be one as they find FPZ in the back. The Void makes the move forward. LGD, 5 heroes strong, will clear out Boom. No response. And LGD going to start moving towards the jugular now. Look for the victory. Finish this one off.
The last 3 or 4 team fights, Boom did manage to get 1 or 2 kills. This time around, they dropped the Doom, but they get nothing out of it. It's just way, way too difficult. Considering how PSG.LGD, they don't overlap any of their abilities. They don't heavily commit with an extra hero to get a kill. It seems like everyone is on the same page about whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, watching it back. It seems Boom are so scattered, unable to really rally around one target. Looking for multiple entries into the team fight. And while their base falls, they've got some thinking to do. Looking forward to game 2, because this one, really now, no contest. LGD take what they want. Mid lane, top lane, barracks crumble. The foundations of the Boom base in tatters. And now they just wait. 3 ultis on cooldown for LGD there. Waiting inside the pit.
Boom wants to strike. This is what we call desperation smoke, but considering that their ultis are on cooldown, it's not as bad. Dire using a scan, they know exactly where Boom is right now. So they will position themselves. Let's see who decides to break the smoke.
Oh, he misses the War Stomp. Didn't catch Jinkyu somehow. Still inside the arena. Stunned up and pinned against the Colosseum. Dead now for a minute. Boom gets something, but how much are they going to lose on the way back? That's always the question. Because Tim's maybe being chased. Good high ground hold from Boom. LGD know, and they are well aware that they don't want to give away any more freebies. They're going to move into the pit, in fact.
Ultis are getting ready available. Chrono will be up soon. Dead Prophet not online for 60 seconds, but look at the lanes. Mid lane has been pushed in, and so is top lane. So they're not going to be able to address this Roshan one more time. It's going to be Aegis for Ame and Shard. Well, everyone has a Shard, so I'm not sure who's going to be... Why kills it immediately? All right.
Well, Faithbound was trying to hit the Aegis as well. They're trolling. Oh, they jump in. Tim's, the Doom, going to get reflected back onto him. Nice Thunder God's Wrath as they take down Tim's and FBZ, even inside the Golden Wukongs. They're aiming for nothing to say, but a Chrono from Ame. It'll be here to finish this one off. GG called.
PSG.LGD, another masterclass performance. Like this last pick, Venomancer was supposed to cripple Ame's farm. Never happened. Ame was on top of the net worth. White did stabilize the lane with his Enchantress, and once again, what a performance. They were looking for that. Fade Beyond's like, my back, man, it's killing me. I had to carry the game again.
I had to tank so many ganks for you boys. It's just another day in the office for LGD. You can see how relaxed Jinkyu is. You know, he's there, chilling in his chair. Some thinking to do, though, for Boom. As going into Game 2, they've got challenges ahead of them. Lacoste, I mean...
They do. The way this draft started is PSG.LGD opened up with Dead Prophet, something that they did once or twice so far in this tournament. But it seems like Boom was not ready for it, because they did use all of their reserve time to get the 2 first picks in.
Yeah, like usually coming into a game like this, you've got your first pick or your first 2-pick combo kind of set in your mind, ready to go. But yeah, taking like a minute or so of reserve time to reconsider their actions coming up against LGD. What can they change in Game 2, do you reckon?
I want to see them play a little bit more aggressive. I want to try to put PSG.LGD out of their comfort zone. If it means overextending, losing an extra hero in some of these fights, they were very scared. The way they played, like in the laning stage and after, it definitely looked like they had something prepared, but it didn't work out. But they were also very timid.
I mean, LGD, as always, playing as a very tight group. As we've got our panel, another tight group ready to take you through game number 1.
Oh, yes, I just absolutely love these 3 next to me. We definitely don't have arguments in the green room ever. But that Death Prophet, we don't know if Boom had something prepared for it or not, if there was more to it with mind games being played. But ultimately, Boom just didn't have the answer for it. They thought that Veno offlane last pick might have been it, but it kind of fell short near the end of it there, Sheep.
I think all of us in the green room were like shaking hands going, yep, we hate Veno, yep, we hate Veno. The hero just suffered. It didn't stop Faceless Void in lane. He was like just out farming most other heroes in the game. He died very easily to a lot of different things. And he would, I think we saw him like ult in the mid lane. We're like, oh yeah, he's suicide bombing, and then he didn't do anything. Faceless Void didn't drop below half health even.
There were like quite a few failed attempts in the early game from the side of Boom to get a bit of a shutdown on LGD, try and shut down their laning, but they couldn't shut down their laning, Jenkins.
No, they couldn't. I think this is it's funny because like Veno has actually been buffed quite a lot in his laning. Like his base damage is a lot better than it used to be. His spells are better at level 1, and yet it feels like a lot of the lanes these days are determined more by the supports than they are by like the core-to-core matchup. I mean, obviously, it is LGD. These guys are extremely good at laning, but Boom's nothing to scoff at either. But it's the Enchantress. The Enchantress completely shut down.
I don't know, man. I'm just disappointed. Like the laning stage, if anything, should be Boom's strong part of their like whole gameplay, right? Everything, but this top lane should not go the way it went. I don't care if there's Enchantress or 3 Enchantresses. Like you have a Doom against her, you can play it out. I don't think that Veno should be half the CS of the Void 10 minutes in. It's a little bit rough to play your game as a Venomancer, especially if you do not win the laning stage. Like the lane, at least for Veno, always needs to go well, right? That's where the hero excels at. He excels at just being this putrid presence on the offlane.
It's quite festering, if you will.
Exactly.
I do think that is the strength of the Enchantress as a pick, though. I think Sheepo said it like during the draft that like you pick this hero to win lanes, and the reason that you can win lanes with her is it's not just the creeps. Although he did go 2 points in the creep ability, which a lot of people are doing on this patch, even into the Doom. But I feel like there's always a way you can play the lane with Impetus. Sometimes you can play the lane with the heal, which was happening more so in this game, using the heal and then the level 2 point in the creeps. Or sometimes you can play the lane with the creeps. And it's just a matter of like the Enchantress player like assessing what sort of game it is and being right about it. But in any game, I think you can win lane with Ench, which is why it hasn't fallen off in like 2 years. It's always been this, even though in pubs it's kind of horrible. It's like low win rate in pubs, but in competitive it's always quite high win rate and very high pick rate for these teams.
I mean, looking past that laning phase as well, right, and just how much the supports are really helping, sort of dictating and determining that areas. There's more to it, right? These rotations coming out from LGD, they were so in control with those Roche timings. how else were LGD able to just sort of always make sure that they were never overextending, or that Boom could never really find this area that LGD were occupying?
You also have to realize that the only thing that LGD was worrying about is the arena. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. And even that arena that catches the Zeus, he just jumps over it because why the hell not?
And he got a BKB later on in the game, which is the funniest looking thing ever.
Exactly.
But it makes so much sense. I've seen so many Zeuses get jumped on the back lines by a Mars, even though you can't jump over the arena. I think Lacoste made a really good point during the cast that I wanted to bring up, where he said that LGD, it seems like they never overcommit for a kill. They always like press the right amount of abilities. There was that one fight that we saw like right before, it was like above the Roche Pit, Dire Jungle, where they could have popped like the Death Prophet Exorcism and gone for a kill, and it would have been like a guaranteed kill. But instead, on the Doom, they just used the Spirit Siphon. Like they didn't hard commit for it, so that way they have the Exo for the next fight. Like that's one thing LGD does, is that they really min-max their spells in games, and it seems like their read on can we get away with this with only using these spells and getting this kill, like it's almost always right.
Yeah, like you're so right. There was a really good example mid where they killed FBZ's Venomancer with like limited spells. Then they smoke up, go into the triangle, kill Jackie. Like that doesn't happen if you waste all your spells. We saw Doom use his, when Boom made that rotation into their own jungle and they use the arena on the Death Prophet who they find there, they use the Doom on her even though she's like 10% health, because they feel like they have to overcommit these spells to get these kills, and as a result they now don't have extra moves.
Do you feel that Boom kind of missed a little bit of their timings, or was it just down to that overcommittal? They felt there was just so much pressure sheep.
I just think they felt really pressured this game. They were 100 gold off of a blink on Mars or something, and they're still going under tier 2 top to try and get that kill. And like as a result, LGD are just responding and killing them in return. Like they felt definitely too rushed on themselves this game.
Yeah. It could just be game 1 jitters for Boom, but it does go the way of LGD. They'll have a chance for redemption as we jump to a break. Game 2 will be starting on return.
PSG.LGD victory.
Howdy, y'all. This is Slacks here. We have wrangled up some boys from Boom ID. So good to have you here. Skin, how you doing?
Doing okay.
Okay?
Yeah, doing good.
There we go. All right. Why do they always say okay when they're in the content? But how are you doing there?
Good.
There we go. Fantastic. Today we got a special treat. We're going to play Dota 2 GeoGuessr. That's right. Some kid on Reddit made it named I talked to him. He said his name was Tim. His name's Tim! And we're going to play GeoGuessr right here today. Now, it's a very simple game. I'm going to press this button here. You're going to see a picture. You have to say where it is on the map. Are you confident you're going to do well?
Not really.
Okay, fantastic. That's the confidence that we like to see.
Let's try.
Let's try. All right, fantastic. I wish your guys' mascot, Boom, was here to cheer us on, but maybe he'll show up halfway through. Here we go. Number 1. All right, I see a tree. I see a mushroom. Any thoughts here?
We answer two of us, right?
Yeah. It's a team. You're not competing.
Maybe this one?
Oh, up there. Oh, Dyer. Well, look at that. There's like a ramp there, so okay. So like right here, you think?
No, here.
Here. Okay, all right. Right here.
Yeah.
Agreed? Okay, we'll see if that... Oh, not too bad, actually. Not too bad. That's 3,000 points right there. Pretty close. Okay, next up. All right. Lots to see here. We got some wetlands. We got some fire right there.
I think it's around mid, right? No trees.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere mid. That's wetness.
This one, I feel. Yeah.
Right there. Okay. Right there?
No.
Oh, whoa. Over here?
This one.
Oh, okay, right there. Yeah. Okay, that's Dyer though. Yeah. Whoa, oh, Jesus, guys, calm down. All right. Disagreements here.
Then this one.
Okay, then there. Okay, all right. Oh, that was perfect, actually.
Correct.
That was very good. All right, this is apparently... Good luck with this one. I don't know how this one... Any idea where this could possibly be?
It's inside the base. Yes.
Okay, I actually thought that you guys didn't know, so I was about to be really concerned. Yes, that one's in the base. Well done. All right, here we go. Look, there's a little butterfly. It's beautiful. Any guesses? Now, come on. Look at the landscape. That big pillar there, that looks like... Yeah, come on.
It's all going up.
Come on, that's a staircase going down.
Oh, this one.
Up. Oh, into the pit?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go, right there?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Oh my God, right on. That's the first one we've ever seen. High five and give it to me. Woo! Yeehaw! That's the first one ever. Right on it. Okay, that's a very frightening picture, actually. That looks like my father coming into my room when I'm playing Dota. Very disappointed in me. Okay, this one's tough, guys. Any ideas?
Yeah. See this guy? Where is this guy?
Where is that guy? Well, he's got to be on this side, right? He's got to be on Radiant. That's a Radiant statue.
Yeah.
But where? $20 seconds left, gentlemen. Think about it. Here.
Here.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
I'm just going to flat out tell you, I think that's completely wrong. What are you thinking there?
It's wrong.
So 10 seconds left.
Secret shop?
The secret shop?
No.
5 seconds.
Nowhere.
Okay. We're going. You want to go for it? All right. We're going for it. Oh, that was over by the cliff there, my friends. That is not too bad though. 18,000 out of 25. I'm not good at math, but that's good enough to get an American education. Let's go. It ain't an F, so that works for me. Congratulations. Our first big, exactly where it was meant to be, and there you have it. That's Boom ID. Can you guys give me a yeehaw before we go out? 3, 2, 1. Yeehaw! I can't believe they did it. All right, great.
power can be found in any number of places. Scientists will tell you that it comes in newtons. Gamers will say that it can be found in silky skills. We will say that the power lies in real thrills, in the play with perfect ping, in the runes and crystals, in every frag and gank, in your personal winnings. Lock and load for PGL Arlington.
Splendid.
LGD up against Boom. That is the series we are in. Just a moment ago, we saw LGD take game number 1. For you guys, do you think that Boom's mentality coming into this is a little bit more confident? They've got game 1 out of the way now, or is it a little bit shaken up because of how that game played out?
Especially the way they went into that game 1 with full focus on the laning stage and it didn't work out. I feel like they might be a little bit shaken up coming into game 2. I just hope that they draft in a completely different way. Just go for your full comfort zone, but also have a strong late game potential. You do not have to defeat LGD completely in the lanes. That's where they're even really good at. Like they lose the lanes, they come back later on. But the mentality might be shaken up a little bit.
If you say then that you think, their laning phase, it didn't really go very well and that's what they drafted heavy for, where do you feel that LGD could potentially have that weakness? Is it in that transitioning out of laning? Is it the mid? Is it the late game? Like, at what point can you really contest LGD skills?
You can't just run at them, right? Like, how often do we see that game? Zinkyu's just sitting in a lane farming as a shaker. Like, he needs to get to his Blink Dagger. He's going to have impact before that, but still, they do have timings, and you can identify those and just try and take full advantage beforehand. I just feel worried for Boom because, like, I talked to their manager, and he said that they were preparing the last 2 days for this LGD match. So, like, do you really want to throw away 2 days worth of prep and just say, fuck it, we're going to just pick our...
game 1?
Yeah.
That's tough. I feel like when you're talking about LGD's flaws, where can you take advantage of them? It's like the problem is teams have done it, and it's just that this team is so on point at every stage of the game that eventually they just do something you're not ready for, and they come back. That's what makes them so scary. It's that you see that they do have flaws and that they are beatable, but that they just get back up again and then beat you. That's what makes them so.
It's something that Lacoste said during the cast that I completely agree with. These guys are so good, it's borderline luck. It looks like it's luck all the time. Like Zinkyu's fissuring the Mars on the top lane as well. It looks like it's luck. And then he follows up with an enchant totem. Oh wait, no, he knows exactly where he is in the trees. He wanted that double fissure. And it happens one game after another.
I thought we were going to have the same opening here, but LGD, DP, Tusk this time, even though that Earthshaker is available.
This is, I just have to say that DP plus Tusk, this is some SCA flavorlicious from a year ago. This is literally what every SCA team was opening up with. It's a strong dual offlane, like Tusk can rotate quite a bit. He can pretty much do the same thing as the Shaker when it comes to the lane, but he is a little stronger in that aspect.
This is a puck. I just want to point out that Yopaj does not play puck.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. It's not a Yopaj year. They're bringing so much new stuff out this series. Like this, I did go bother the team a little bit after the first round to say, oh yeah, like you scrimming with this stuff. Like it's all like super prepared. They're like, yeah, like this is our stuff. This is our hidden strats. And it didn't go so good the first game, but clearly they have way more in the tank. Bringing this out is very curious for me. It fits Yopaj's style of play. He likes to go make plays around the map. Puck's really good. We've seen BZM really take advantage of TPing in reaction to ganks and counter-initiating with the puck. So hopefully Yopaj does a really good job making moves on the map with it.
Yeah, are you a little bit worried though, because we haven't seen it at all in group stages and also not in 2 or 3, right, of DPC. So it's not just that he hasn't played it here at the major, he also didn't play it for the 6 weeks in DPC.
I feel like Puck is a hero that every mid laner should know how to play very well.
Of course,
especially a player of Yopaj's caliber and playstyle. Like Sheep said, I completely agree. I think this should be down his alley. We'll see if he manages to perform as well as everyone else on the hero. there's a reason why Puck has such a high win rate. The hero is broken, and I think that any mid laner can make him look that way. Plus, you have a tiny combo. So, tiny Puck, something that a lot of teams have been opening with recently, right? Jenkins, do you like that mechanic with the toss back?
Hey, snap the old coil, but it's also like, I think Tiny is the current best counter to Puck in the game. So you open with the Tiny, it means you're block picking the Puck. It gives you the setup to pick Puck on the next pick. So yeah, it's like a pretty free Puck game for Boom right now. Tusk can never really rotate and kill a Puck, so it ruins the rotation potential of that hero. So if Boom hypothetically picked a safe lane that does very well versus Tusk, it feels like he can only rotate to his own safe lane, and I think limiting...
That's a bit far.
It's far, yeah. I think limiting the rotations of any of these pause 4s that likes to run around makes them a lot... It feels a lot worse having them in a draft.
It also felt like last game on the Mars, Yopaj struggled a little bit with trying to make his impact without a Blink Dagger. Puck doesn't need items really anymore.
It's a zero-item hero.
Yeah, he gets the Witchblade for sure, but he can just go, go, go. So whenever Boom feel like they want to make a play, they have the option.
And the other heroes that they've banned out on the side of Boom, the Pudge, the Lone Druid, the Bat, like Lone Druid in particular, very good against Puck. That Prophet has been picked up by PSG.LGD, plus PSG.LGD likes to play that Lone Druid, so it makes a ton of sense to ban them.
LGD are having first pick here, but I kind of want to talk about Boom a little bit because you said, Jenkins, that you want them to have a really strong safe lane. Do you expect that to be the next 2 picks? Are we going to see the carry here?
Of course. Oh, sorry.
I thought you were saying, of course, to my question. I'm like, wow, I'm sorry, Lizard, but no, the Chen. Chen makes it through. We didn't even point that out. Chen makes it through. LGD pick it up too.
Yeah, that's an OP hero right there. Very overpowered. I think with a Death Prophet, too, if you're Boom now, you're not even thinking about the safe lane anymore. You're thinking, like, oh, shit, how do we stop this Death Ball?
Right.
Because this just turned into a Death Ball lineup. Like, even Tusk setup with the Chen creeps and the Snowball. And
I feel like it's the same thing, the same idea, right? Like, you have Tusk or Shaker plus Chen, Death Prophet. It's the same general idea that a lot of teams are going for.
And Wyvern, probably the biggest or most favorable counter to these sorts of lineups, is out of the pool right now. You can do other stuff. I know there's been a little uprising of Tidehunter this patch.
Ancient Apparition.
Sorry.
We saw Ancient Apparition yesterday.
I think it was for the first time as well.
By LGD, and I think it was into Chen Death Prophet, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably. There were a lot of heals in that game, right?
And there's Tiny. This hero is great at setting up the AA Blast and playing with the AA. There's Puck. This hero, you coil into AA Blast. I feel like if you're gonna pull it out, this is the place to do it.
That AA was up against a DP, Shaker, Chen, Ember, Lifestealer.
They could even keep pairing it with more like AoE control. Like if you want to give FBZ his comfort Mars AA seems fine to me.
That sounds pretty dope.
Yeah, sounds pretty great. I think the only thing they need to be concerned about, obviously, is AA. He doesn't offer that much to the lane, and they need to have a strong laner with it.
With actually Timber here.
It's a similar idea to the Tidehunter that you mentioned, right? Like you have this one, you get this one hero that can actually stand in front and defend against all the creeps and the early snowball.
Yep.
But you are kind of missing that extra team fight and initiation coming from your offlane, but they're not lacking. You have the Tiny, you have Puck, so they're kind of covered in that way.
Like this was FBZ's one of his best heroes for a while, and then he kind of halted with it with Tor 1, Tor 2, brought it back a lot in Tor 3. He's been looking pretty fresh. I'm hyped to see it.
And they pick it into the Death Prophet. It's actually one of the worst matchups for Timber in the game. I think it's like the second highest win rate versus Timber.
Just buy a Manta.
In Dota. You buy Manta. That is legit good. It's like Bat and Death Prophet are incredibly good against it. So they pick this knowing that the Death Prophet does well against it because it's so strong at just standing in front of the towers and dealing with the Chen. That's like how strong the Chen is that it requires a pick like this.
Ench versus Chen. Oh, all right.
The classic.
The classic.
Okay.
Well, there's their answer. Like Timber, Ench, Tiny, all answered by this Ursa. LGD are going to have a really fast timing. Like, not only do they have the Death Ball, like Ursa usually lacks in tower damage, but you have a Chen and a DP to make up for that. They now have a really, really easy way to take Roshan. They could, and like we talked about LGD's management of their spells, you don't have to now commit an exorcism to take Roshan. You can just do it with the Ursa and use the exorcism afterwards if you want to smoke out the pit, you want to just go push a tower. It's very strong, yeah.
All that min-maxing. The big thing I feel, though, when it comes to an Ursa is that potential to be kited. Is that an issue with Boom's lineup, or they're all looking to be quite close together when it comes to team fighting, and Ursa's really going to have a great time in this game?
I feel like when it comes to being kited, you always look at Ursa's teammates as well. Do they have ways of stopping you, of catching you? There's a little bit of that. There's Tusk, but nothing too great. On the other side, you can get tossed, you can get dream coiled, Timber can chain away, so it can get a little rough, but I don't think it's anything that you can survive, right, as an Ursa player.
There is a potential, though. Timber, whilst people think of Ursa as like a counter to him kind of mid-game, in the lane, Timber can actually kind of run him over a little bit. If you go, instead of reactive armor, you can go like
0-3-2.
You can go 1-1. I know like Sacred on his Timbersaw, he beat K1's Ursa Baron lane by just going like 1-2-0 at level 3.
1-2-0. That's so that's so risky. It does work sometimes. You're right.
They killed him twice. It was pretty good.
It seriously does work. At the very least, I think the play as Timber is always to go like extra point and chain, because you can like Ursa cannot actually deal with the pure damage harass that you're doing, as long as when you're chaining through to harass him, you're not ending up right on top of him, because then he kills you.
Oh god, that's a C classic, Medusa.
I feel like you just go Diffusal on Ursa right now. Like, isn't Ursa a hard counter to Medusa?
I'm not sure.
People pick that as like a hard counter for back when Medusa was strong. Ursa's like the best Diffusal carrier currently.
It's a bit risky to go for that Diffusal, right, at the same time, but versus a Medusa, it does make sense.
I think like Boom need to just be very quick on taking that top tier 1 tower from LGD, the safe lane, and then they can just play in their jungle, push, like even just touch their tier 2, force reactions, TPs to give Medusa the space. Otherwise, yeah, LGD have very good jungle invade.
Are we a little bit worried about Boom's timings? What are they looking like? Where are the potential strong points for them to really apply that pressure for LGD?
One of those potential strong points is Yopaj on the puck. We'll see just how well he performs. Like the laning stage can be a little rough versus the Kunkka, but overall his game is looking pretty solid as a puck, right? No instant catch against him. So maybe they'll be able to abuse that playmaking capability of his.
And then on the other side of LGD, we already know just how disciplined they can be when they play, but do you feel that there's a weakness, anything that the draft might be lacking, or a great all-rounded final draft?
Looks decent to me. Jenkins?
Sheepo?
Jenkins?
No, I'm personally really sold on the Ursa pick. I think when the Medusa came out, LGD was pretty happy about that. I think already there's a dichotomy, you could call it. People are do we go for a Diffusal Blade on Ursa? Do we go for a Battle Fury on Ursa? It was answered for them in the Medusa pick. And then I think the last pick is just LGD. There's like, okay, let's pick something that just rounds out our draft. We don't even need to think about countering. We already win the 1-to-1 counters. They pick the Kunkka. It's a Heaven's Halberd hero. It's a hero that's going to win team fights for them. It's going to set up for them.
Do you think that they struggle in backline catch? Because that's the only thing that I see missing from their draft.
I mean, Death Prophet builds Blink, Tusk builds Blink, Ursa builds Blink, Kunkka's a backline catch. Like I think with the new meta builds people are doing, and not really.
It can work then.
It can work, yeah, I think so.
Okay, well, I got to give Boom fans some hope. All right, if you're a Boom fan, this is a thing in Southeast Asia. Just go on Twitter at Boom Esports ID and tell the Boom and the Twitter admin, tell him to log off. If he logs off,
they're almost guaranteed to win.
They're guaranteed to win. Yeah, if he stays logged in, it's over, actually.
Well, it looks like that's going to be the main hope for Boom, as a lot of our analysts here think that LGD have the better lineup. We are jumping into game 2. It's Gareth and Lacoste.
Yeah, a very standard LGD draft covering all the bases. Roshan taking, tower pushing, team fighting, ganking. It looks like perfection. Did Boom adapt enough in their draft?
They did. They did look a little nervous during game 1, so they did pick comfort heroes for them. I see Jack and Medusa. I see FBZ on Timbersaw and Yopaj and Puck. So I think they just wanted to feel a little bit more comfortable in game 2.
On signature heroes.
Yes, looking at what PSG.LGD have, it's a lot of team fight. It's a lot of sustain. This is Kunkka with the boat, Chen, Mech, Heal, Hand of God, the Tusk Save, Death Prophet, Spirit Siphon. It's going to be very difficult. None of these heroes also build into Spirit Vessel. I want to see maybe if... seems like it's not going to be it. I was thinking about maybe Puck getting it, because... your Tiny's not going to get it, Enchantress can't get it on time. Timbersaw, not the hero that wants to buy that item. Right. Against all these healing, it might be the item that they need. Also, looking at the way how this draft played out, Timbersaw, a lot of still good heroes in the pool. Jenkins did mention that Prophet's one of the better heroes against the Timbersaw with the percentage-based damage, with the silence, and also being able to chase him down with the exorcism is really, really good. You also have Tusk with the tag team, so he's never going to feel too comfortable. Also, there was a response from PSG.LGD. They did pick Ursa. Seems like Ame is going to be going for the same, let's call that standard item build on him, going for the Battle Fury to be able to match the farm of Medusa, not going for that Diffusal Blade. He might still, like, eventually pick up Diffusal Blade. Probably not going to be a thing. Maybe it's a consideration because he is playing into Timbersaw and Medusa. These two heroes don't like their mana being burned, but wants to have that late game security.
And is that something that Boom wants to do, get to late game with this Medusa? Do you think they have maybe a timing a little bit earlier on once she has her Manta to play with the Puck and the Timbersaw? Or is Boom going to do the 4 Protect 1?
It's 4 Protect 1, pretty much. Yopaj is going to have a good time on Puck. They don't have this catch. You don't care too much about rotations from Tusk and neither Chen. The only reliable catch they have is X mark the spot. But it needs to be either a mistake from Yopaj or nothing to say, have a frame-perfect torrent, or they need a snowball on top of that. Yeah. So he's going to have like 20 minutes potentially without a death, unless he makes some kind of a mistake.
Yeah, hoping for a crisp game from the Puck, as we see Jinkyu doing exactly the same thing he's been doing every game this tournament, dragging waves, blocking camps, and moving that creep equilibrium away from the enemy safe lane carry. Jackie taking a lot of damage early on the tower, not somewhere the Medusa likes to be. Low base damage, does have a quelling blade and should farm up some of the CS here, as he's getting pressured a little bit by the Death Prophet. And of course, Scam. Oh, it's Tim's actually. A tiny down here as the support, going to play in that back lane.
They wanted to adjust their lanes, have the good old classic Dota, the rivalry. Enchantress, if you want to call that. You can't spell Enchantress without Chen. Also, you can't. So that's
who counters who? Enchantress usually the one that you pick to defeat the Chen, right?
Y will, I think, still pick up Holy Persuasion, but decided to go for Divine Favor and Headdress, and here we go.
Yeah, steal the creep, grab it back away from Scam.
Big creep, being able to break Timbersaw. He still keeps his reactive armor. It's a meme at the early stage of the game. Doesn't really do much.
A little bit of chip damage here and there.
Ursa is a counter to Timbersaw, but not in the laning stage. He is getting the farm, so is Timbersaw. Enchantress does stabilize a lot of the lanes, does have a point in the enchant, so even if Ursa decides to go with the overpower, that's dispellable at every single stage of the game. So it's going to be a bit difficult for Ursa to just lock onto a target and to kill. Oh, never mind, he does have Orb of Venom.
Yeah, trying to slow down Scam. Unable to finish off the job, though. And like you're saying, we've even seen Timbersaw. Once he hits level 6, that Chakram offers you so much damage.
You need to be careful as Ursa. If he is the one getting level 6 before you, Yopaj farming the small stack camp, while nothing to say has been blocked.
It has, yeah. Sentry in that small camp. So 21 last hits for the Puck. 16 and 3 on the Kunkka. But nothing to say with Tidebringer, able to shove out waves, clear them as well as the Yopaj Puck is. Oh, Puck going to go up top for the bounty rune. Now look at that.
Oh, TP rotation.
TPing to go grab it. Wasted time. Oh, he's waiting here. Baiting maybe a little bit. And Yopaj disappointed to realize there is no bounty there. And after spending the orb, is there opportunity?
He doesn't have a point in phase shift. If they knew that, Torrent's still going to connect.
Yeah, good little Torrent there. So now empty bottle, 200 health, running low on mana. He's kind of hoping for one of his supports in the side lanes to die to come and refill it up.
Will stick around. He will definitely stick around for 4-minute rune. He wants to make this Puck lives miserable.
Yeah, it already is rough. Arme up top.
He wants to check if there is potentially a bounty rune, and there is not. So Tim's doing the same thing, trying to help out Puck.
Yeah, nothing to say, goes top. Yopaj being zoned away from that water rune. Torrent there to make sure. Oh, but he gets it.
Banning Rift.
Steals it under the nose of the Kunkka.
Puck with some clutch play.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. Tim's trapped in the shards. Tag team from Jinkyu. Chasing this Tiny all the way back into his jungle. Oh, can he finish this off? There's Windlace on Tim's, but a few more punches. The deny from the neutral's not going to come. Jinkyu drawing first blood.
Tiny, with this, he needed 1 XP like 1 CS to be level 3, and then he would toss him potentially onto creep wave, and did manage to run away. But yeah, starting with 3 grabs, something that position 4 Tinies have been doing recently quite a lot. Now Jin-Q plants a deep observer ward behind a tier 1 tower, which does allow them to play aggressive on Medusa. Well, Medusa doesn't threaten a kill on that Prophet ever.
Aggressive on top as well from LGD. Straight onto Scam, forcing Nature's attendants out. FBZ so far not under too much pressure, not having any difficulties in the lane. But a go again from Arme. Takes down the Enchantress with a few swipes. Already had those stacks up and running. And now the toss back. Tim sends Jin-Q onto tower. Jackie gonna pick up the kill. Boom, striking back when they need it most.
They need their Medusa to have a good laning stage. It's not too bad that Tim's is staying away from the XP range, because he was, getting Medusa some levels.
Well, Yopaj, happy the Enchantress dies top, does get his bottle refilled. Getting close to that 6-minute mark for the active runes. I've seen Pucks.
Tim's bottom lane looks very dead.
Oh, he's trapped in the igloo, is he? Yeah. Spirit Siphon and the damage from Faith Beyond. Taking down the tiny Tims. Faith Beyond just going for the treads again. Makes him much tankier, giving you those stats. And Yopaj finds himself a haste rune. Oh, Scam up top again. Arme straight into the back of Bambi, and FBZ. Not much he can do here unless it's caught from Yopaj. Turns it back on them. Arme just continues to fight, stacking up the Fury swipes, but with that orb from Yopaj, making short work of the bear.
This is the rotation that they needed. The good pickup. Haste from Puck, deeper rotation. They get a kill on Ursa pre-level 6, trying to stabilize lane for Timbersaw, but Kunkka, he's massive. 47 CS, level 7, using a boat. This might be a solo kill on Tims.
He's just under tower, killing the Tiny. That was a toss back by Tims. Body blocks from Yopaj, but no stuns. Nothing to say. Very wisely TPs away.
Understands that he doesn't even need to pop a Fairy Fire, because a bit of a different item build when you play this matchup. You don't necessarily need to go for the bottle, instead going for the double bracer. You get it earlier, and you continue to dominate the matchup with... Oh! It misses, so he might be in trouble. By in trouble, I mean dead.
Oh! The second chain doesn't miss. He's back in the trees and he TPs. FBZ very close to death there. Oh, mate, asserting dominance in that lane as we watch the Chakram fly all the way across the map. Cutting down trees on its way. Deforestation from the Timbersaw. And he wants to get back up in that top lane. Try and pressure Arme. DP down bottom does have Exo. With Tusk lurking in the shadows, can they kill the Medusa here?
They can. She does not have a point in Stone Gaze. Jin-Q scouting her out.
Yeah, Medusa just going to back it up into the jungle, get that safer farm. Well, Scam going to scout out with one of these trolls. Yopaj, the amount of damage coming out of that double bracer phase boots build on Kunkka. 20% of the Puck's HP with 1 cleave.
Invisibility.
Grabs himself an Invis rune as well, so maybe some action here from LGD as they're able to get down
Radiant's
south.
bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structure.
Exorcism dropped on the bottom tower. There needs to be some kind of response, but this observer ward that Jin-Q placed a couple of minutes ago is scouting any rotation.
Yeah, and Radiant scanning there. Maybe expecting a bit of a move in onto Scam. And even though they expected it, Enchantress will be the one to put her body in harm's way. Boated and torrented, Yopaj comes in with a 2-hero coil, but a snowball in the back. Try and aim on Jackie with a tag team going. Some good damage there, but Tim's with the avalanche holds
he's
the aggression back.
Healing up. Never mind.
He's about to die. Poke with the orb will finish it off. A toss forward though. Yopaj, he wants more. Waning Rift to silence up Jin-Q. 9-minute rune bottled by the Puck in the middle of battle. Not giving anything away to this Tusk. Now, it will take a while to chase him down, but the avalanche and another orb will secure this kill for sure.
He's buying time. He's trying to get on a mid lane snowball. Ooh, not in range. The creeps died. He was pinging it out. I think this one's on Y, because Y did kill. He did kill the creep wave.
Well, if there's a creep wave there, yeah, could have snowballed and tried to save himself. And Wise Enchantress having a pretty quiet one so far, you know, in that lane against Ursa. Mainly just defending and bodyguarding him. But he's got a couple of creeps heading in towards that mech. And closing in on level 6. Battle Fury well on its way for Ursa. Orb of Corrosion, Brown Boots, a few little bits and bobs there. As Tims, he finds the toss back on Jin Q. Torrent misses, but with an X mark now landing and a snowball in, Jin Q and nothing to say will find Yopaj's puck. FBZ and Tims will not be stuck on the tower for too much longer. Chain away, gets them out. But puck dying like this, it's a big boost to LGD's efforts.
It's pretty big because they were not supposed to have enough lockdown. There is X mark the spot, something that puck will struggle against, but I think he could have, I said it, maybe like 15-20 minutes without deaths. Tims
he
get blown up.
Walks up the staircase into two very angry LGD heroes. Nice. He thinks there's a high ground observer ward. There is a ward there, but a little lower down than he expected.
We, like Panel did mention about possibility for Ursa to get the Fusel Blade, but I think I see the synergy right now because Battle Fury swipes. It increases the damage of Fury swipes. It's Battle Fury, right?
Oh, yeah. If it's got the same name, of course it stacks.
It amplifies, double damage.
Yeah, that's logic for you. Oh, nothing to say. Coiled, tossed, snapped with the Hand of God. Healing coming in from Wise Chen. And they've caught them up
Still
with a nice torrent in. Does have the mech and Timbersaw shredded. The ghosts of Faith Beyond clearing through the timber. Tier 1 will still be defended by Boom, though.
And speaking of amplified damage, the same logic can be applied because Y does have this ghost creep with him. So Exorcism plus a ghost.
Oh, yeah?
Here we go. We found the synergy. It should work like that. Why pop mech in the end? They have so much sustain. We talked about having both, having a Spirit Siphons, and Y finally hits that level 6, has the mech, and now PSG.LGD. Every single time these two are available, they're going to try to look for something. And you don't have to commit with Exorcism to be able to kill Roshan. This game, you do have Ursa, so if you have Dead Prophet nearby, scouting things out and potentially saving it, Tims,
yeah, straight
back is available.
Chakram's there, slowing and doing some good damage, but Arme ripping that tiny limb from limb. And a 4K lead up for LGD. Again, the same scenario. Coming out of laning stage, if you're not ahead against LGD, it feels like...
You're behind, yeah.
Stating the obvious there, but a tautology. If you're not ahead, you're behind. Yeah, you are correct as always, though, Lacoste. I cannot deny it.
This is why I'm getting paid big bucks. Just kidding.
Well, you're getting paid. LGD.
We are. And yeah, Battle Fury about to be done by Ursa. Needs 300 more gold, so that's going to be Battle Fury done by him, which will keep him on the top of the network. Like, he can match the Medusa's farm.
Boom. Coming up top, hiding Yopaj's puck. They've got Enchantress up here as well, but it's just a wave cut.
Both on mid lane, Medusa did pop ulti.
Stone gaze out from Jackie. Snowball in from Jin Q. Focusing on this Medusa with a little punch forward, but LGD, they're so good at this back and forth. The ebb and flow of the team fights, allowing Arme to come in for the second wave of aggression. They lose the tusk, but it's fine. Killing the Timbersaw there. And the line being held, so the puck caught out with a torrent from nothing to say. Arme with a double kill. And they'll keep on going. X-Mark will drag the Tiny back into the waiting arms. The painful embrace of this Death Prophet with the Spirit Siphons and the Crypt Swarms. Tiny still surviving, though, thanks to an avalanche and a move from Scam. But LGD get what they came for, the objective. Tier 1 tower down.
Arme is such an amazing player. He joins a fight without even having a Battle Fury. Like, you want to farm a Battle Fury, right? You want to hit some creeps, but he joins the mid lane. They secure the tower. I believe he's the one who got the kill on both Yopaj and FBZ. So getting some extra gold from that and securing the tower. I think Jin Q is going to be the one dying, especially if he initiates with the snowball, putting himself in front of them, so they will be focusing him down. But this time around, there will be Hand of God available, so very difficult to go through the tankiness from PSG.LGD.
And a BKB for Kunkka now as well. Nothing to say, he seems unkillable at this point. Smoked up into this Radiant Triangle. Wise Chen has scouted some people out, but they backstabbed straight into the Medusa. Oh, Jackie. Third in the net worth, died
Inside
a couple of times in a row. And with the ghost still going, yeah, Arme straight into the pit. Observer wards removed. No vision here for Boom.
Fate Beyond zoning them out while Ursa is doing Roche.
Has the Yules up as well. Scam forced to Nature's attendance while back in the triangle. Nothing to say. He's being chased around here by Tims and Yopaj, but Roshan is secured. LGD yet again. The objective they came for, they claim, and now snowball in towards Tims. Trying to force a fight around this triangle. X-Mark dragging him back in. As White, surprisingly, the one to get the kill in the end. Just an overwhelming amount of damage from LGD at this point.
X-Mark, caught puck.
Oh, the phase shift.
Will be able to dodge it.
Very close. Nothing to say, nearly had the timing. Faith Bian's going to force
Still chasing. He wants to set things up with Yules. Do they have an observer ward? They do. Jinkyu can't find the angle. Ooh, that was close.
The pathing. He was walking up and down the staircase. Couldn't get the observer ward in.
My thrift
And Ursa just going to solo down the top tier 1. Nothing to say. He saw the Enchantress a second ago. He's under a Radiant Observer Ward, and with a Hellbear following him, can't find the angle. While
Arme is alone. He does have a help from Hand of God if necessary, but the rest of the team needs to connect.
Yeah, they do. They need to get here quick. First life, about to be claimed. Aegis gone.
Lost the overpower, will not have it for 5-6 seconds.
Oh, nice silence. Make sure there's no toss back. And even with a coil there, Arme thinking about fighting. Y and Faith Beyond, they join in, tossing the DP in. Loses half her health to the whirling death of FBZ.
That preemptive silence from Fate Beyond. Perfect timing. Before, it was not a projectile, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, gorgeous stuff from Faith Beyond.
Beautiful. And nothing to say. He has an amazing game on Kunkka. BKB done. He knows that they can't lock him down. There's just not enough stuns. The only stun they have is Tiny. Maybe with the tossback during the coil. And look at the win probability. 88%, 17 minutes into the game already.
Yeah, and that's for ordinary teams. I don't think that factors in the LGD
You gotta add the, maybe extra 5-6%.
Arme nearly solo killing the puck up top. He's got her. Dominating streak for Arme, and puck dying again. A sloppy mistake from Yopaj. And they'll pay dearly for it. As Faith Beyond, he moves down into that bottom lane. Tier 2 will unlock the outposts, give even more map control here to LGD. And there we see the comparison between the two mid laners.
A lot of numbers. Bigger numbers on the right side.
That's what LGD cares about. Nothing to say, having the better game. 2,000 net worth ahead of his counterpart. And having way more impact. Scam getting TP'd on. Well, saying goodbye to the Bambi. You blink and you miss it. As LGD are so quick with these decisive moves across the map.
Oh, she still might find him.
Yules to cancel the TP. He'll find Tims, and another great catch here from LGD. Jinkyu will tag along. An avalanche toss will only delay the death of the Tiny. But you look at the mini-map here now. Yes, they TP'd 2 heroes.
It really is a mini-map for Boom where they can farm. Because it's looking very difficult. They're not leaving the base.
It's tiny for them. Little fish trapped in a net. LGD, the Sharks of this tournament, they sense blood in the water. They are so good at understanding where they need to be. They spread back out across the map. In bottom lane being farmed up by Wise Chen. Was he heading into the Aghanim Scepter again?
Not yet. They don't even have stuns, so no need for strong dispel mechanic anyway.
So what do you reckon? A 4-staff or something like that for the Chen? What
does have a hold to lock it already. Could tank things up. Get like a right pack to reduce some of the damage, and he just queues it up.
You say it, they queue it. You're like the voice of God, echoing in their heads.
Oh yeah, I'm as good as PSG.LGD. Not. Oh, shut up.
Well, Medusa getting caught out here. The backup coming in little by Boom, but they've left her alone now just to die. The coil didn't save her, and Jackie dead for 50 seconds. Snowball towards FBZ, Yopaj at half HP. LGD will keep on chasing under the tier 2.
I don't know if they can kill anyone on PSG.LGD.
They're also tanking.
Why Pop's only Hand of God still has mech and 20 Holy Locket charges?
Good night, Tims. Sent to the Nether Realm by this Arme Ursa. Blink, Battle Fury working on his BKB. And Skem hiding in the trees. Nothing left to do but TP home. Get back to the comfort of your fountain. As LGD come for your towers.
LGD is itemizing to end the game with the next Roche. I see Aghanim Scepter on Dead Prophet, this Vlad's that we mentioned on Chen, and also Kunkka going for AC, so having extra tower damage. And also tanking things up against the Medusa's right clicks. Medusa, we didn't talk about Jackie too much. He did finish Manta style after Dragonlance. Needs another item. This Scotty is going to come in clutch. Slowing Ursa, a Dead Prophet, reducing the healing. It's still a long run. He needs to be able to find the farm. We are talking about 4, 5, 6 minutes potentially.
And then after the Scotty, will it just be Rapier time, do you reckon? Get that bonus damage, try and finish things up. Or Arme. Oh, that's a lot of damage from FBZ. A toss up, and inside the coil, Arme's Ursa, a huge kill for Boom. They're gonna find him. The backup not available for him.
Okay.
It's over 1,000 gold going into the pockets of Boom.
Arme overextending there a little bit, giving away 1,000 gold to Boom and delaying their timer. You know, if it was someone else, we would probably flame it harder. But considering how things are going in this game, we're going to say that, you know, Ame memed it up a bit.
Yeah, and in this tournament in general. You know, you can make the argument, maybe he's thinking, hey, I'm pretending I've got 5 heroes behind me. Vision from Boom pretty limited. As they'll get themselves a tier 1 tower. So more farm coming into Jackie, and that's what you've been saying they need. Get the Skadi, get into this late game. It always feels like LGD games feel like they are later than they actually are. It's 22 minutes in, but it feels like
this feels like a
35,
40-minute game. Exactly, considering how fast PSG.LGD is playing.
How farmed they are, how much map they can control. And 1 minute away from the potential next spawn of Roshan. Both teams will be eyeing that up.
Ahmed drawing on a minimap, showing where he's going to be in the next minute or 2, and wants to have some kind of a backup. Tims.
Solo killed.
Gone again. Finally, he does have a Blink Dagger for himself.
And Skem down bottom. Both supports being picked off. LGD everywhere and nowhere. Finding kills across the map. And from the 2 widest points you could possibly do. Top lane, top left corner, bottom right corner. There's Yopaj. Oh, he's in the trees, he's away. It's not comfortable for him, though. Trying to split push and delay this game. Well, nothing to say with a full assault cuirass. 605, still unkilled. I mean, Chen as well, 208. No one has managed to bring him down. Well, Tiny having a rough one. 10 deaths to his name, 22 minutes in. And here are some of those big items, Lacoste, you were mentioning. They're arriving for LGD.
Look what Dead Prophet has queued up.
Okay. Well, I mean, more attacks, more ghosts. Pretty good against the Medusa, if she actually goes for it. Oh, they're couching Q. Blow him up with a Timber Saw. A coil coming in from Yopaj as well. Ursa, he snaps it, he's Yules. He does still have the enrage and maybe a blink away, but the damage will come over the top of Arme. Faith Bian and nothing to say. Arriving on the scene here to look towards the Timber Saw kill. The Stone Gaze is good, and the physical damage from Jackie. Oh, they're turning it here.
Ursa's dropping low.
He has to self-fuels. Ursa very low, the mech, and the heals from Y. Keeping LGD topped up. There's nothing to say. TP's home. No stuns to stop him, but Y will be avalanched. Catching out a couple of kills here. LGD lose 3.
They're pinging Roshan, losing 3 heroes. Unfortunately, not a golden Roche spawn for Boom, because they could have potentially taken it. PSG.LGD last 2 fight, I mean, it's not a fight. It was Ursa who got caught alone, and this time around it was Jinkyu. So, some gold. in pockets of Boom.
They're getting the adrenaline going for Boom, surely. Their hearts must be pumping. Getting kills here on LGD, allowing them to delay this and get the Medusa to where she needs to be. And here we watch it back. Good
toss back from Tim's, not allowing Dead Prophet to use ulti immediately because he started with Exo, with the silence, and no Exo came out.
No BKB here.
Can he snap the coil? Yes, he can.
The toss back. Oh, Boom mounting a comeback. They find Scam all the way to that top jungle. Arme does kill the support, but that unstoppable streak going into the hands of Yopaj. That's another 1,000 gold for Boom.
And he does not have a buyback. So, like, we're in the territory. Medusa did finish off Scotty, and she's farming up. She's super farmed right now.
This is huge. FBZ going to chain down to low ground. Oh, the adrenaline must be pumping for Boom right now. FBZ, another timber chain away. Yopaj, he's inside the pit, and with Tim's here, trying to combo up onto the Tusk, but Faith Beyond Silence stops them in their tracks, and Arme opens up on the puck. The waiting rift to the high ground, gets the puck away, barely survives. While Jackie and FBZ looking towards Faith Beyond, who did pop the ulti. Roshan alive, a smoke from Boom. They're trying to regen up the puck, get the Nature's Attendants going.
Boom didn't use anything. They have every single ability that they need except the coil, which is going to be up online in 15 seconds. So looking very good for Boom right now. If they want to strike, they need to find an opening.
Oh, a big team fight win here for them. Could be huge as they find Faith Beyond. The DP demolished. Dead for 50 seconds and with no buyback on her. Boom, they could walk into the pit.
Arme lurking around the Roche pit. There is a Sentry Ward drop, which is going to get this Observer dewarded. 30 seconds without Dead Prophet. Even if he had buyback, there would still be no Exorcism.
This is where a DD rune spawns from the Medusa. Oh, there's a regen rune bottom. If only. If only. And into Roche they go. Oh, Arme straight on FBZ. Yule's up into the air and they've caught the Medusa around with the torrent and the bow. Jackie,
she's out of mana.
Blown up so quickly. LGD, one hero down, still fighting.
Can Yopaj steal it? He made the slot. Let's see if he's going to be able to jump in. Already used the orb. Bailing out.
Orb. He can't get in there. And LGD, one hero down, still make the move.
Pretty impressive. Like, without a Dead Prophet, they still understand that they can lock onto a target and straight up kill it. Ursa, he's extremely tanky. Whenever he gets the Earth Shock off, you can't stun him. And with the backup of the Chen, having that extra damage from Vlad's, having the extra lifesteal on top of that. And yeah, we see the full potential every single time they're playing around Chen with all these heals coming in. It's very difficult for Boom to deal damage. There were 2 overextensions from PSG.LGD, but let's see if they will do another one.
It's like Boom are running around opening windows, and with that move, LGD feels like they've slammed the door shut on this now, and it's going to take a miracle. Yopaj trying to cut out waves, push out top. Tims is down bottom doing the same thing. Dragging LGD from one side of the map to the other. Pretty good ploy here to slow things down and waste the timing on the Aegis that Arme holds. Faith Beyond picking up couple of juicy tier 3 items. Finishes off the Wraith Pact on Wise. Chen as well.
And also they gave Shard to Chen. So, Ancient Black Dragon. Medusa will have an easier time targeting people with her split shot. Attack Wraith Pact, still deal damage, attack the Black Dragon, and going into Silver Edge next.
Interesting. So why the Silver Edge here over, like, you know, a Rapier, which I was kind of expecting at this state of the game?
I don't think it's a Rapier time yet. I think he needs to invest gold, buy that Crystallis right now, because they definitely lack damage. You do not want to save buyback on Medusa. It's not going to do much.
So you want to continue being as efficient as possible.
He might be keeping things open right now, but does have enough gold to buy Crystallis, uses the Courier, fight starts, puts this Wraith Band in the backpack, and has that damage available.
Wait, what can you break? Fury Swipes? Is that just the primary one that you're looking towards?
It's also about having Invis against Ursa, because you know that he's going to be looking for you, especially with the Basher done.
Yeah. Shadow Blade back up. Use that Stone Gaze to reset. Well, Dire Vision there, spotting out a lot into Triangle, into the top lane as LGD Could use that as a platform to come in for tier 2 mid and maybe high ground.
I think the other option for Medusa is to think about the butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
You're playing against Ursa, forcing him to get an MKB. He is running out of slots. And if he commits with like another item, that means that we'll need to get rid of something.
Can you evade ghosts from DP? Because damage block doesn't affect
Doesn't block, doesn't work.
No evasion either.
Damage doesn't work. Block. Block, block, block.
No blocking,
This is
no
what
evading.
you sound like.
Block, block, block.
Yeah. Now block, block, block from the Aghanim.
Yeah.
AC done on Kunkka. Not AC, sorry about that. Scythe, I mean. So that's going to be an instant catch for Puck.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Scythe the Puck, jumped with the Ursa. Boom. Looking to get themselves down into that bot lane. Oh, we're closing in on Aghanim Scepter for the Tusk as well. If you can kick out any one of these core heroes, isolate them, and kick the Medusa into the Ursa. Move them around with X marks as well.
If he manages to kick Medusa during Stone Gaze, that's just game winning.
Fight over.
Puck sees that Hex on Kunkka and does get at Eon Disc immediately. Wants to be able to protect himself.
Yeah, all assembled up as Skem gets munched by the bear in the forest. It's all about delay tactics now, though, for Boom. You know, Tim's is moving from dire triangle in towards mid. Top lane, you've got that Timber Sword trying to cut waves. I don't think LGD are having any of this nonsense, though. They'll track back and look for FBZ. He does have a TP, but they've got tons of ways to cancel it. Chains to the low ground, but he's stuck there. He has to Chakram Whirling Death. Self-Fuels comes up, but Faith Beyond, nothing to say. They've got the Torrent to play straight into the Timber Saw, kill him off. And another hero dead for about a minute. Means LGD are going to be gunning down this mid lane, looking for your tier 3s. But...
Using Hand of God, trying to save Jinkyu.
They do kill a Tusk, yeah.
Who was all alone again. It's all about delaying the game as much as they can on Boom. Even if it means trading one kill less every single time, if Medusa is not dying, they're still getting something done. Problem is, they don't have vision. This gem pickup on Kunkka, I think it was Y who bought it, but nothing to say is holding it, is getting rid of all vision.
Still a pretty good passage of play, considering how the game is going from Boom, right? They've managed to waste the Timer of the Aegis. It has been reclaimed. LGD didn't get too much out of that second Roshan. Managing to spread the map very wide as Boom. Causing some problems for LGD, and of course continually building up this Medusa. But the Chinese squad has Ursa, Kunkka, both top 2 of the net worth.
Ame will be level 25 after this one. After this creep wave, and we'll have a full Satanic in the next minute.
Oh. Overpower attacks. Even more damage went for both of the Fury Swipes talents as well. So he is able to jump in and out of team fights at will.
Overpower is OP.
all right. Yeah, you can have that one.
Especially when you hit that level 25, having extra 3 attacks.
It's like not quite as good as Refraction talent, but it's still pretty damn good. Having bonus charges on your charge-based abilities always feels incredible. Boom, wanting to make something happen now, though. They've got themselves the Silver Edge on Medusa. No buyback available for her. So Puck, Medusa, Timber, the 3 cores on the Radiant team. No buybacks. They've spent their cash. Tiny and Ench do have them. As 2 lanes approach their base. Bot and mid shoved in by LGD.
Ahmed did not show any of his items. This is full Satanic coming to him. Wanted to surprise them with this one.
Yeah, no vision to spot him either. Scan did connect. Radiant have a decent idea of where LGD are. Ame, he just goes straight onto the Dusa, forces the Stone Gaze. E-Blade to try save. Timmons with a coil snap. Moves in, but Faith Beyond, BKB's up, it doesn't get caught. Ame has BKB Satanic in the Hand of God. The heals come in. They'll chase FBZ down. Timber Saw moving out. Tiny getting punched into the sky. Killed off.
Still 9 Fury Swipe charges on Medusa. Ame wants to hunt.
He's diving tier 3s, but gives up on that. Decides just to calm down a little bit. And the Puck, and toying with them with that E-Blade. 1 kill, all that they get. but they forced out Coil, they forced Stone Gaze.
Got it.
Some decently long cooldowns there that Boom don't have if LGD move into the base. And look at Y with these big creeps. Ancient Granite Golem. The Ancient Black Dragon as well.
PSG will respect high ground defense from Boom. Okay. They do not want to overextend this time.
Yeah, tiny tossbacks. Very annoying.
You thought tiny tossback is good? Now we do have Walrus Kick.
Ooh. Jin Q finishes it off. So Blink and Aghanim Scepter for him. A long Roshan respawn though, 2 minutes. Means LGD have got a lot of waiting to do, twiddle their thumbs and see what is going on, while Boom can continue executing their game plan, split pushing, causing chaos and making noise everywhere that they possibly can. But Yopaj, oh, the Eon Disc there, pops out of the Hex. Arme with the help of the boat, and Jin Q snowballing in, looking to give chase. Avalanche Toss is going to take down the Tusk though. The rest of LGD, they were not interested in following through on the Tusk initiation.
A little too aggressive from Jin Q, like 2-3 times in a row, not connected with the rest of the team, and this does give Boom a bit more wiggle room, because Medusa is farming up, still not close to level 25 where she gets the AoE Scotty, but farming things up, going for Hurricane Pike next to be able to push Ursa away and have another defensive tool.
If only it was the Puck buying the Hurricane Puck.
Yeah, Hurricane Puck.
You'll save that one for later.
It's never going to happen.
That's sad, isn't it? Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yopaj, hexed up. Eon Disc on cooldown. Oh, the Enchantress dismantled. The silence and the toss back on the Ursa though. He's got the Hand of God and the Satanic to play with. He BKBs up and chases FBZ. E-Blade and the Yule Scepter, they're overlapped as FBZ being focused. Nothing to say in Faith Bian. They are forcing Boom to split away from the Medusa.
Picking out the Raid pack. No one wants to attack it.
They can't. LGD plant themselves in this Radiant high ground area, controlling Triangle and keeping Roshan under lock and key.
Y does finally have that Aghanim Scepter that you mentioned. Now it's coming in clutch. The tossbacks to be able to snap the coil. Not going to be as effective anymore.
Very good point. Back to plan B here from Boom.
I think the play will be when Puck hits level 25, even if you have BKBs, the comms are going to look like, snap the coil, I have Hand of God.
Just do it on purpose. 18,000 net worth lead. Oh, yeah, we watch this back. Arme, no fear.
Hex one, go for the other.
Yeah, toss around.
Arme is super tanky with this Satanic build. Basically gives him a second life.
Yeah, he's got so many lives, right? Enrage, Hand of God, Mech, Satanic.
Earth Shock. What is it going to be? It's going to be Refresher, so that Prophet will be picking that one up.
Yeah, and the cheese as well. So multiple BKBs, multiple exorcisms for Faith Beyond. Boom, trying to play under their vision. So important for them to get the jump. Jin Q, the one that gets spotted. They throw the coil, the Scardy's slow. Avalanche comes in from Tim's as well, but FBZ, he's annihilated. He went aggressive. Jackie, he's been caught out as well. The boat landing on the Medusa. Puck trying to stab into the back line to deal with them, but LGD resetting.
Oh, Tossback, he does have cheese available.
He does indeed. No BKB for Faith Beyond, though. Going to self-fuels up as Arme. He pummels into Tim's, focuses in, onto Medusa, hexed up, nearly killed. Jackie in so much trouble, can't escape. Dead with buyback, though, as Boom could come back in for round 2. A difficult prospect for them, though.
There's way too much stuff on the ground. Cleave from Kunkka, these hexes, Ursa locking onto a target, goes from that Prophet, whether it's Exorcism or just the casual attacks, and Y keeping his distance. I think Jin Q died in every single fight in the last, 15-20 minutes.
Oh, they're going tier 4s? They're trying to force
Refresher was used, Exo is available.
They've got it again, you're right. Tier 4 is being brought down. They do have buyback on the Medusa. They're going to have to use her as LGD. They'll defend themselves even within the coil. Turning to fight with Faith Beyond and nothing to say. Getting onto FBZ and Arme. He sees the Medusa. She just bought back. Oh, she's moved back into the Ancient Creeps and dead. LGD will secure this one now with no Medusa. Boom will have
FBZ
no
already
damage.
used his buyback. Ame is still chasing.
He'll get another one. 2 heroes on the sidelines for Boom. Tim's sprinting back towards Fountain. Tail between legs. No way of defending this now. LGD far too strong. And Jinkyu has the punch on the puck. GG's call.
Shocked Pikachu face right here. I mean, PSG.LGD, they look on a different level. So far, managing to only drop one game, they feel like you need to put in some extra effort to be able to bring them down. And they have variety of the heroes that they play, but they also go with the easy ones. You know, they don't need to overcomplicate things when it's not necessary. Get that Y-Chen out, get that Fate Beyond Dead Prophet, and we can see Boom on camera. They don't look too happy. They needed this W to secure the TI for themselves. Yeah. And this also means that, because they lost, that Tundra is going to TI.
Secured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, with LGD, they're so good at building this base foundation of a draft, aren't they? With the Earthshaker or Tusk for Jinkyu, the Chen, the Dazzle, whatever it is for Y. You know, Faith Bian can play any number of heroes and has that flexibility with both Nothing to Say and Arme to shift things up. And Arme, one of the most versatile heroes, right? He's played 13, 14 different heroes so far this tournament. They leave him one of the later picks to be able to counteract what their opponents are doing. So incredible to watch this LGD squad perform. And Boom, you know, there really is no shame in losing to LGD at this point.
Definitely not. So far, Boom had really good performance in the tournament. They're going to need to continue their run in the lower bracket, but PSG.LGD, you know, still looking way too dominant for anyone in this tournament.
Yeah, solid from Boom, but not solid enough to defeat the current kings of the tournament. As we pass it back to the panel to break down this 2-0 victory for LGD.
We're wondering the exact same question. Who is going to be able to stop an LGD that looks that amazing? These guys were so clean. Boom definitely gave them their best showing, though. Definitely tried. The main thing that stood out, though, that Yopaj Puck Sheep, we talked about it, we brought it up. We haven't really seen him played in officials, definitely not for the last few months.
Yeah, like, it is obviously, it's a hero in his pool, so I didn't mean to say he could never play it. But the last time he played it was 3 months ago in Stockholm, and the time before that was like 8 months ago or something. Like, he's definitely good at puck, and he showed that off this game. I thought his rotations early were really great. But yeah, I don't know why he hasn't played more.
Yeah, you could see a couple of hiccups here and there. They had this good combination of puck and Medusa, but honestly, I want to go back to what Nat said. Who will find the chink in the armor of PSG.LGD, right? Because at the moment, it doesn't matter where you orient yourself and what you try to go for. Do you try to go for this ultra late game with the Medusa? Do you try to go for a Venomancer to defeat them in the laning stage? They're just well prepared and well versed for literally anything that you throw at them.
There's definitely a lot of potential places that we could try and see cracks for LGD, but something that was not cracking for them was their map presence. They were all over this map, and not even necessarily as a group of 5.
No, that's right. That's something I had that in my notes for this morning. Where I saw somebody post on Reddit about this, and I thought it was just very beautifully written. Where it clicked in my head, where it's like, oh, they do that. Like, you know, where you read something, it just makes so much sense. And this person basically said that LGD makes simultaneous moves around the map when they're behind. Like, AKA, they'll go on you on the bot lane, but then in the top lane into like very formulated, like, intelligent ganks where like one of them is bound to work out, and then if they trade 1-for-1, they're trading 1-for-1 in a losing game, which is good for you because you're not supposed to be able to trade 1-for-1. And in this game, we actually saw that they did that in a winning position. So it's just something that they like to do. And think about it, if you're in a Dota pub or something like that, and there's a fight going on and you're like a carry, your decision is like, do I show up to this? Do I not show up? That's a hard decision. Now imagine there's 2 fights that you could potentially show up to. That's 4 possible. Like,
I would die.
It's this insane decision tree.
I would be paralyzed. But Sheep, do you think that any draft can do that, or is it something specific that they're picking in these games?
I mean, obviously you can't always do it, and it depends on the game state, but when you're ahead, it's definitely easier, and it's made even easier by how good their supports are on LGD. They were putting down such good wards to enable these types of moves. Like in Boom's top lane, they had a lane ward there on LGD. They also had one in Boom's jungle. So at all times, with their like aggressive map presence and those 2 wards, they know exactly where Boom are, and they can always get like the right simultaneous moves that Jenkins talked about.
I also realized that, LGD were in the lead for a lot of this, practically the whole game, but they couldn't push that high ground. They kind of struggled. They felt like there was a little bit of a lull when we got to about the 30-minute mark.